Starting stream. Stream is up. And let's check. Oh god, I'm getting red flashing lights. That's always good. Yep, stream's up. Mutant Epoch actual play. Need to actually change the number because we're at number 9. We're at number 10 now. Section 10 of the High Desert. Something I still need to make a banner for. That will eventually happen.
You know, you should have an intro music thing or something like with the sound of the wind in the desert or some shit like that. Okay, get out of
my head. What the hell? I was looking that shit up literally the other day when we were all talking with each other. I was trying to find that kind of stuff. I was looking for reference images. Flavor. Yeah, no, I was looking for reference images of the dunes and sands and stuff. And so naturally, now my entire homepage is filled with like, hey, you don't know Dune video games coming out? I'm like, yes, I know. It's on my favorites watch list. Go away. Mm-hmm. Anyways, last time we played, we were all sick. And this week, we're still all sick.
I have
jokes on you.
I have recovered, but mostly.
Yeah. We have R with us, who's missed a session, and so we're going to get him up to speed a bit along with everybody else. So everyone had come up to High Rise from the Silt Sea, and in High Rise we have met a lot of unique new characters. These characters have a lot of history with the previous, like, 10, 15, 20 years of the histories of these characters in their lives. Ephraeli is the sheriff of High Rise. She's also a former hydraulic knight, and she has a lower snake robotic body, and she was an expert fencer. We had Hashmal. He's a ram human hybrid who seems to be the leader of a cult in the area, which on the surface appears to be benign, though we've already had a couple intrusions on people's minds. Chat? Sure. Hashmal and Ephraim. So we had with Hashmal, we already had a couple intrusions into people's minds, especially Red Rum, trying to like get in there and basically do something, but nothing.
She held him off. Haha.
She had the strength to keep him at bay.
Down at the ready, boys.
Oh, good. Can we get that one in there? We had a good familial association with Kent. That was a family friend of some of the characters here, especially the ones from High Rise. You know, he has kind of a negative relationship with Kit. He has a scared relationship with Roos and a we are brothers for life relationship with Connor. Poor Cole and Ronan, not too much for them to do in the area. Kind of just exist a little bit. They did want seeds from Ronan when he came in. They're like, give us your young. And like he seems to do everywhere. He's like, oh, people are actually asking for it. And finally handed over his seeds to somebody. Iliad was a little bit of a star. You know, Kent was really
sexually harassed pumpkin noises.
Yeah. Give me your seed. Kent was over the moon meeting a hydraulic knight that wasn't his commanding officer, and also has like literally like a rookie card of Iliad, almost like a Topps collector like baseball card. And it's a little thin plastic cards with like a metal backing that were made in Greywater and distributed around the region as collectibles for people, 30, 40 years ago when the hydraulic knights were in their prime. Cindervale was identified by another person that comes from where he comes from in the west, the mysterious White Hole, which is for the players really know nothing about. It's called the White Hole because that's where things disappear to. That's not the name of the actual settlement, and because we don't know what the name of the settlement. It's something we will discover maybe in the future, but it is a big mystery what's out there. The only thing that we know that anyone can know for certain is that there might be something there. That's it. There is no hard evidence. Occasionally a dead person will be found in the desert or the Silt Seas with technology that doesn't seem to belong in the present era. It's too advanced, it's too new, it's too clean. In their body, they're usually healthy, purely human, partially cyberized, and also the technology is alien to a lot of the things that people see in the area. And it's just like, where did this person come from? Some people assume that maybe there's a hidden arcology somewhere, or possibly even Lunarians. It's not known. Lunarians, for those who are new to Mutant Epoch, are literally people who live on the moon. There's a colony still there that kind of looks down on the planet with just naked disgust.
love the sound of it, Lunarians.
And if you download my short book, The Ascent, you will play as Lunarians, and that one's starting. Shameless plug. We had Beans get a meeting with Amantha and her mother April. They invited Rhea for dinner, and they ignored the crab. They ignored
no crab
Mira.
for dinner.
Yeah. Mira was ignored in the conversation again. And I always forget we have Calmir as well.
Yeah, just somewhere.
Yeah, it's just in the party, just brought up there. So that really kind of like brings us a bit up to speed for where everyone is. Now, I want to ask what Argo and Whiskey Tango would kind of have covered in their first morning into afternoon within High Rise. We have a bazaar.
I think you need to mention that there's like places they can go and places they can't go.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get into where he can go right now. So there is a open market bazaar. There is a cantina called the Watering Hole that he can go to. A lot of people gather there. It's like an open tavern where you get a free liter of water a day. Also, by the way, Argo and Whiskey Tango would have gotten security checked and were given ID tags with small little electronic readers in them that have their private information stored on them, so that and it also grants them access to different levels and layers within the city, so places they can and can't go, restricted access zones. So they really can't go into like the factory sections of the city right now because they're considered just guests and not residents. And any place where there's like military arms or governments. And you're also not allowed onto the citizens' residential district unless you've been invited. So you'd be given like a day pass, or someone would buzz you in, essentially. Okay. So you're allowed in the common areas where there's hotels, brothels, artisans, people buying and trading. It's really like any caravanserai that you've ever seen before. And that's what you kind of have access to right now.
Okay. Okay, you might need to repeat that. I just lost everything.
That's right. You have access to a caravanserai, so it's an area where there's a lot of trade. Think really big, wacky Walmart, open bazaar.
Yeah.
I'll go there.
Yeah, but you've got also motels, hotels, and places to eat, places to get a drink, places to socialize, maybe clubbing, things like that.
I'm gonna go to the place where I can go see if I can buy stuff, maybe some upgrades, maybe some shit.
So what kind of upgrades?
No, just what to see.
Sampling the air.
Well,
doing some window shopping down like the expensive district.
Yeah.
So,
somewhat of a eventually Argo is looking to get cyberware.
Cyberware. Now, cyberware, the nice thing is when you're in high rise, any cyberware that you're buying, you can pretty much be sure is going to be safe, because any electronics brought into the city are tested to see if they have the Lissa virus or the Mecha virus. There's always a potential risk that something was smuggled in and is still it could be infected, so don't take it for granted. But you also have access to a lot of people with independent power supplies, battery operations, like they can do basic electronics wiring, computer checking. There are areas here where you have access to jack points where you can plug in and you pay a charge and you have access to electricity, so that you can actually like power up stations and have like semi-permanent workshops. So you do find, kind of like, and these are low tier grade cybernetics that you're looking at. They'd still be considered pretty good shit if you were in the Crossroads region, but for this zone, this area, this territory, they're not great. They're exposed wires, servos that maybe don't work, that they make a banging noise when they turn and move. Plating that isn't complete. It's like from several different manufacturers, so things might not work as well as they should. You have people who are crack programmers where they have like data disks that they're trying to sell out with different programs or different parts. Like, yeah, I got a Y278. You can just stick that right in there. It's got your full range of motion. You'll be fine. You'll be blasting rabbits all day long. They hate rabbits here, by the way.
I thought that everybody was fine with them.
Yeah, they're fine with Rhea, but they don't like the other ones.
Is this one of the you're a credit to your people kind of scenario?
It could quickly turn into that kind of conversation.
That's sad.
Well, double check
Are we canceled yet?
Not yet. No, we're working on
I'm
it.
honestly not surprised.
We'll get there.
Great. No, we're gonna make the Mutant Epoch version of a sundown town. It's fine.
Oh.
Now we're canceled.
No, come on.
Sadly, Argo is not the richest motherfucker, nor is
None of us are.
what the fuck.
Barter is
So-
worth a lot here. You do have weapons that you guys have accumulated. I don't know how many Argo has on them because we've missed a couple sessions back and forth. So there might be a couple
Argo has
items.
skills, man.
Yes, I was gonna go. You
Yeah.
also have skills you can barter. You're a programmer, hacker, cyberneticist. Like you're good.
I would like to attempt to barter with as many of my skills as possible to just get something to start me off with.
Do you have any specificity on what you're looking for? Hands, legs, arms, a mechadendrite that's gonna come out and be able to steal people's shit, like weapons, defensive upgrades, utility too. I mean, you really. I mean, okay. So the problem also is that I am giving you the world here to think from and choose from. So
Yes.
let's start with categories to kind of help you narrow down what you're looking for. You want defensive, utility, or weaponry, offensive?
Currently looking at utility
Okay, utility.
because that can give me more use.
It's true. So we've got vision and we have detection. We have optics. So and we have your senses, basically: touch, feel, taste, scent, sound, hearing, or seeing. So, which of your senses do you want to increase or alter?
Probably my eyes.
Your eyes. Okay, so we want optics. So
Yes.
we come to a vendor who has in several jars on a he's got an LED strip above his area, and you can see that they're chilled and their eyes suspended in a yellowish fluid. They have you can see all of the nerve endings that are coming off in little tiny white trails, and you can see the cybernetic components attached to them along merged with biological components, and just the craftsmanship of his trade as he's trying to, he's got them all out there for sale, and he's a hack doctor on the streets. He's got a table and a bench set up along with like an old dental chair or barber's chair that he'll raise and lower, and it's got patchwork and some blood on it that's dried, and on one of his hands is cyberized, and you can see all his tools, and he's going through right now, and he's got his cyberized hand with all the different surgical tools, and he's dipping it in antiseptic fluid after one guy is getting up, and he's got a clear he's got a bandage on his face that's leaking what appears to be a reddish, not blood, but some other kind of fluid from his eye, and it's staining the white gauze, and he's handing him some medication, antibiotics, rejection ampules, in order to be take 2 of these a day, once in the morning, once in the evening with food, and that'll help stabilize your immune system so the cybernetic doesn't get rejected. And sends him on his way, and he sees you over the other guy's shoulder, and he's like, yeah, come right on in. What can I do for you? You looking to get your peepers switched out for something a little bit better? Maybe some infrared, night vision. Maybe you want to be able to see a little bit further. You want some good optics. You want EM? I got EM. Be able to see into the full electromagnetic field.
You do intrigue me, good sir. But I do like the idea of seeing farther.
Seeing farther. Telescopics. And he's looking over
Indeed.
a couple of his jars, and he brings one over to you, and you see he's got a few different cybernetic eyes inside here. Some of them are human, clearly, and they were designed for human, but a few of them are robot, made for androids or robotic soldiers. But they do have the nerve traces on there to be put into a human. They were attached to a meat brain that was grown, like a vat-grown meat brain. He's like, I have a couple different selections here. A few of these taken down from combots that were captured out in the sand seas. I've got one over here that was taken out of a cyborg, and then you can see on the side of them they have little serialization dates inscribed with laser etching on the sides of them. They're kind of explain their make and model and like where they maybe possibly where they came from. So do you want so what do you want? Do you want human? You want to look more human? You want to look more, threatening with a big old glowing red eye that can kind of zoom in and make clicking noises? I guarantee the battery for 1 year.
I thought it does sound like a good promise. I honestly do not care what my eyes look like, as long as they work and they can work as they want them to.
You know what?
That's all I need.
You know what, brother? Function over form. I understand you completely. Tell you what, I got something better for you. He puts that one aside and he goes on from underneath this table that he has, and he opens up a freezer and he pulls out a jar and he puts it down. And you can see he's got this one chromed out eye with a blue iris. You can see some fleshworks around it, but you also see the telltale marks of flow steel. And he's got one of them touched off to an electrode on the side of the tank. He's like, Prime flow steel. As he looks sideways down the street in either direction. Unity made. That's the good stuff, brother. That's the stuff that's going to go in and do whatever you want it to do. Guaranteed to work. Guaranteed to install. No rejection. If you've got the money, I've got the means.
Well, at this time, I'm currently low on funds, but I have
that jar
many
disappears.
skills.
It disappears instantly. Back inside the freezer. I got no time for you.
No. Let me finish, sir.
No money, no merch.
I have some money, sir.
All right, what's your currency? What you trading with? Blood, semen, slaves?
Silver and gold.
7 gold. Put them on the table. Let me see them.
I hand him 5 gold and
He gets out little electrodes.
20
And he takes out a voltmeter and he checks them to make sure the resistance on them shows that they're gold. He's like, that's just not full gold, but that'll do. You're gonna need more than this, though, brother. This is prime cut of beef right here. You can afford one of these ones. He's looking at one of the ones that's tanked on the front. Take these 7 gold, and I can get you something up to 3 times telescopic. It'll work almost all the time.
Almost.
Can't guarantee the software is going to install correctly, though. You're going to have to find somebody to hack that in yourself.
okay. I'll take it.
Oh yeah, well, lie yourself right down on that table right up there, and we will cut you right open. Now,
hands up with money.
So just, your character know this. You might not. He's going to install an eye that doesn't work. It doesn't have software. You're going to have to program it.
Sounds like experience to me.
Yeah. So, do you want to buy the eye cased first so you can program it, or do you want this installed and a jack installed so that it can be programmed?
I'll do the first option.
Okay. So he'll sell you the tank, sealed chamber with a battery that's going to last for only 2 weeks on refrigeration. He takes your 7 gold, pots it away. So, not a bad trade, all things considered. You got a nice little cybernetic part. Got to get it programmed. And this also alleviates you getting, just cut up on a table in the middle of the open without any antiseptic and fire pin. He was just gonna open your face up. Pour some liquor on it, call you good.
What's your medic, Ara?
Argo has no medic somehow.
Oh.
Whiskey does.
The robot.
What's Whiskey's?
Whiskey has a medic too.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Whiskey would probably tell you that was a bad idea to get this guy to touch you.
He doesn't wear gloves.
I noticed.
He has poop under his fingers. That last man has septicemia.
This don't scratch his ass.
Chance of infection at 95%.
He just picked his butt and put it in the food. It's like you're eating Indian street food.
Oh, fuck.
Again.
This was the side street surgery equivalent of Indian street food. I heard some covered up laughter over there. You're not getting away with it, freaking Faulty. I heard it.
What? What are you talking about?
We've all seen those TikToks. All right. Okay, so with that settled, we have a couple people with appointments that they need to keep. So let's start. Who did we end with last week? It was, I think,
We ended with Cinder.
Cinder? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start with Kit, Roos, and Connor. They're together.
Yay! Yay! I think Kit was going with Connor to figure out where this stash of Unity stuff was coming from,
All right.
or we were gonna go tell somebody about it.
Yeah, I think it was Kit's tagging along with Connor and Red to, inquire with Kent where the guard's getting this Unity stuff.
But Roos could be doing his own investigating. He doesn't know. I don't think he would know about any of this yet. So I think I'll give Roos some screen time, and I'll see him kind of perusing around town. I mean, he hasn't really been home for a little bit, so he might just see what's going on.
Going to his old haunts, checking people out, looking up some old girlfriends, maybe.
Nah.
What you doing, Lisa? What's going on? Like, oh, nothing, sweet thing. It's like, why do you got 3 kids now? Like, don't worry about it. You want to be a daddy?
You want one?
No.
I can give it to you for $5.
Yeah, I'm giving them up. So,
Don't do that. Run and we'll eat one.
specify. He's
Yeah,
walking around. He's moving around. Who's he meeting? Who's he seeing? What's he talking about?
So I don't know how I would, I imagine there is like some form of quest board or something that has like bounties and stuff.
Yeah, there's a bounty hunters association that runs out of Greywater, and this high rise has an organized police force, but it doesn't. It does post work for people.
Okay.
You gotta go to the watch office and go inquire, like, hey, you got any jobs, any freelance going on?
Yeah, he's gonna go do that, so he'll walk in. They're probably very familiar with him already because, well, Bruce is a licensed bounty hunter.
Okay. So there's a watch officer on deck when Roos comes in. He's a middle-aged man with a balding pate, gray skin from being underground too much. He's got a cyberized left arm, and he has a pronounced limp. They call him Gimp. He does not like that name. I imagine Roos might call him Gimp because Roos is kind of an asshole. His name is Gus, and so they also just sometimes call him Gus the Gimp. Now,
Gimpy Gus.
Gimp also, or Gus,
Grumpy Gimpy Gus.
is permanently attached to a cloth, literally cleaning his nose all the time. Man has just a permanent runny nose. He got sick years ago with something from the underwarrens, and it's never cleared up. And he always has constant phlegmy, like throat, lungs, nose, and he always speaks like it too. And so he's always got this rawness to his upper lip and his nose area that's just kind of gross. And there he is again, rubbing at his face, eyes kind of bleary, puffy underneath them. He looks like a fat man that recently lost a lot of weight, like his skin's hanging off his body. And he looks up and he sees you with those bleary eyes. He's like, nope, not happening. No, we're not doing that. No, Bruce, we're not doing this. You didn't bring him in alive last time. He was ruined. We couldn't even question him.
Come on now, Gus. That was an accident.
Accident? You freaking accident? How do you stab someone 5 times accidentally? Oh my god.
He was running his mouth. I told him. I did warn him, Gus.
You're lucky he was alive. Be able to be a witness. Oh god. Half the coughs that Gus is gonna do are real. It's just coming from me. I'm just gonna keep playing sick characters. Oh god. So you're looking for work then? Is that why you're here?
Why else would I be here?
I don't know. You want to make my life more miserable?
Well, I don't know. That black lung seems to be doing just fine.
Oh, you shut your whore mouth about my black lung. Oh god. All right. Takes out a freaking a clipboard and he tosses it on the table. Now, what are you looking for? You want something
light, kind of break yourself back in. You're looking for like some truants, a little bit of theft, petty. What is this one over here? And he's like, domestic violence. Takes that sheet out of the clipboard, like, that one's not for you.
Oh, come on.
What's
now.
it? Come on. Come on. We're going to have to involve you in the domestic dispute argument. If you go in there, beat up the husband, and plow the wife, I'm not doing it. Oh, God. How about this one? This one's multiple thefts. And he like turns it over to you to face you.
That one could be promising.
It's just some street kids. You bring them in, beat them, throw them in the hole. They're operating around by the watering hole, back and forth into the factories. They're going in through like one of the gates down there. We can't catch them. It's not bunnies either. It's actual people. So you can't kill them.
Right.
You got to bring them alive, mostly intact. Should be 2.
Well, 2 snot-nosed brats shouldn't be much of a problem now.
No, not for you, Master Tracker. Oh, ask around the bazaar, see if you can't get a beat on him. We got a rough description. He hands you over 2 more pieces of paper on and microplastics that have a artist's rendition of what they look like, and these renditions are awful. Whoever drew them basically knew that a head is round, and that was it. Like the eye placement is all kind of wonky, the nose is in the wrong spot. If you already know any better, like you're like, okay, are these pictures of mutants, or did you like, or is the artist a 5-year-old?
Gus, when are you gonna hire an actual artist?
My drawing skills are top notch. I took these from witness accounts. Look at their beady eyes. I mean, they're kind of big and round, but could be beady.
Gus, you ain't an artist.
No, I'm not an artist, and you're not a good person. That's the best that I can do. He like holds up the arm. You think this thing is good for delicate tasks?
That's... You hear him kind of chuckle. I don't think so. But, sure. I'll go, pick up your ankle biters for you.
Alright, good. Again, alive. Bruised, but alive.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of trauma. A little bit.
A little bit.
Big, if you catch them now, they won't go into the work camps later.
Yeah, and Bruce will be on his way.
All right, so you've got that license. You've got your bounty that you can pick up later, and
He's just like, oh, it's good to see you again, Roos. If you bring those ones in, I'll give you something juicier. Oh, God, my nose. Oh, it's so stuffed.
That poor man.
yeah, his life is miserable. I know that, man. I worked with him for 7 years. I'm just playing
You're
a
only
character.
7 years old?
Yeah, right. So, who next? We got Kit and Connor.
With Run Red.
And with Rumred. That's right, they dragged her along too.
Enlisted the help of. There was no dragging.
There's an order
Well, he
of operations
wasn't gonna
here.
talk to me.
You're right, he wasn't going to.
I don't know why he doesn't like me. I'm fun.
Your fun and his fun are very different, Kit.
He wouldn't have fun if it hit him on the head.
Kent's a good guy. Leave him be.
He called me a creature.
Kit,
Yeah.
come on.
No, you come on. I'm tired of you always sticking up for him.
You're
He's
a bit
so
of a
mean.
creature. You're a bit of a creature.
She glares at him.
How far is this?
Just up here.
Good, because I have to listen to you folks bicker some more. I'm gonna put cotton in my ears.
But you're not exactly the most talkative type, Rum. So I have to entertain myself with the creature over here.
I ain't a creature.
That's so mean.
What is wrong with you?
Rum starts tearing off the edge of one of her tunics to start balling it up to put it in her ears.
I don't know how you even handle men, Rum. They're also brutish and mean.
Rum just looks over and smiles broadly and gives her a little wink.
What do you think he's doing in there anyway? I bet he's staring at that card that you don't let me see.
Can't see me, but I'm nodding right now.
How many do you think he has? If he's got one, he's got a bunch of them. And they probably all have like a real creepy ring that they sit around and they trade them with. Ugh.
Why are we staring at the door? Let's knock.
Okay.
Knock.
Yeah, it was. I didn't want to be rude. I was just waiting for you guys to be done.
Oh, knock, knock, knock. I assume.
Yeah, I guess it didn't pick up. I was kind of.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it doesn't always. Yeah, when you do sounds like that, it doesn't usually the noise get hits it. Yeah. So you hear some shuffling on the other side of the bulkhead, and then you hear that large like swivel lock open up, and all the mechanisms come loose, and it swings over the loud creak, and you see Kent's mom standing there, and she's wearing a yellow dress with an apron on the front of it, and she's got a glowing smile. She's like, "Oh my God, Kit, Connor, come in." She has long, kind of like thin, narrow hands that are kind of, her skin's a bit papery, loose, because she has cancer, and they've never really been able to do much with it. And you could still see the edges of like where she's gone bald, where the wig is attached to onto the top of it, and she kind of tries to keep up like a healthier look with makeup and just personality and energy. But it's really not enough to cover up the fact that she is a sick woman, and but at the same time, she doesn't seem like she wants to project that image. And you're dragged into a home that is been papered up with bright colors, pictures on the walls. There's a carpet down on the floor, and you see a lot of the modern amenities that people at high rise have come to know as standard living. There's a heating receptacle for cooking. There's a refrigeration unit. There's active flowing water. There's a living section, a family dining area. There's even a small entertainment stand that has old movies and videos from 1,000 years ago that can still be produced and played. An expensive piece of technology that probably cost Kent quite a bit to get rebuilt. He is
Rum would like to interject quickly.
Yeah.
Rum is turning to look at Connor and Kit and is glaring at them, and says something along the lines of, "You dirty, rotten sons of bitches."
What? What are you talking about?
This lovely lady is obviously got a sickness, and you haven't brought Ronan here?
We just got into town.
You do know what Ronan... You just got in town.
We didn't just get into town.
So she looks between each of you like slightly. She's like, no, chill, babies, no, it's fine. I'm fine. Don't worry about it, please. Come into my house. And Kent is standing in the background, like standing up, and he's got that dumbfounded look, and he's already staring at Red Rum.
Rum's gonna kick Connor in the shin.
And for reference, these guys didn't know I was gonna make this woman sick. They had no idea.
Oh, I know that.
Glares back
but Rum doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Connor glares back at Rum for a second, then shakes his head, walking to the, well, I imagine there's like a small, for lack of a better term, a mural for a mixture of baby pictures leading all the way up to probably last year of pictures just of Kent.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, like all his awards, like his little placards,
Yeah,
everything
just
he's
all
gotten.
that.
Yeah, the pride. Yeah, literally, like
Yeah.
this is the favorite child.
Yeah, Connor's gonna pick up a picture and just be like, I always think you die whenever I come over here, Kent.
Ken
Kid's
is
gonna-
like he like sidles up along you. He's like, "Who's the lady with the red hair?"
Oh, that's a friend. She wanted to tag along and meet you. We got some things we gotta talk about, Kent. And she heard so much about your exploits that she just had to see you. Connor puts the picture down.
Kid's gonna grab one of the baby, like one of the, like a naked baby picture, and she's gonna like slowly look super gremlin like over at Red.
Gremlin like.
Oh my god! You look at that. See your
Gremlin like.
butt.
Ken just doesn't get embarrassed. He doesn't get rosy red cheeks. He just stares deadpan at Kit. Like there's just no emotion on his face. He's just staring at her. And he just and his flat mouth like, "You're a monster."
I'm a monster. Look at you. And she points to the baby.
Oh, that's when like his mother comes over. This woman's name is Joanne, and she comes over. Yeah, he always had a big head when he was little, but at least he grew into it. You look at these baby pictures of this like bobble-headed child with this like again pasty pale skin crawling around that same exact kind of threadbare carpet that's on the ground right now, and again huge head. You don't know how that woman survived childbirth.
Are you sure you're not a mutant or something? Because oh my.
He like crosses his arms and like lifts his chin. I've been tested clean. 99.99% pure human.
Connor, look at the head.
Joanne like gives her like a rueful smile and like pats her son on the arm before heading into the kitchen area. She's like, "Sweetheart, don't make an association that a chimp also has."
Yeah.
And then he's like, you can see like the confusion on his face. Like, what does that mean? He's like, "I'll be in the kitchen, kids. You all go ahead and socialize in the living room. I'll be just a minute." And you'd hear the electric burr of a burner going on, and the sizzle and pop of grease, and just the sudden aroma and smells of of algae of different grades and varieties being prepared in the kitchen.
Ooh, I hope she's making cauliflower steak.
Rum would like to sneak into the kitchen and cook stuff because, again, Rum has cook and herbalist and is very interested in all things culinary and helpful. And she's going to talk to what's the name again?
Joanne.
Going to talk to Joanne about the herbal stuff that she has that can help with nausea and other things associated with cancer and pain relievers, and ask if she has any need or interest for any of that kind of thing, and that if she can get the ingredients to whip it up for her, she certainly will.
So Joanne, like again, is immediately she's over the moon that you have an interest in culinary and like in just cooking and housekeeping, and she gives Red Rum a critical eye, like looking her up and down, like, "New pretty woman in my house, my son is single," and she likes to cook.
Oh,
Yeah. Like your plan might backfire here.
The guy already has is she's already left the conversation before.
Oh no! This is good work to your favor. So Ken is literally like he goes to go sit down on the couch inside the living area, and you can still see the kitchen from that spot, and so you can see Red Rum moving back and forth with Joanne as they converse, and his attention is not on you guys at all. He's just like he's just staring like past you at Red Rum.
It was custom pistol grips for their sidearms, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Does he currently have that on him?
He has his sidearm on him. It doesn't have a custom grip.
Damn.
Did you say they were pearly or something? The grips?
No, they were ergonomic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the grips
But
look like
this
they were
one's just
custom. Yeah, just a
standard.
standard grip. Yeah, made of like a reinforced plastic that's been bolted onto a frame.
I need to quickly interject for Game Master purposes
Yeah.
that Rumred has completely forgotten the mission.
No,
As
she
she
saw a
did with
sick
the
woman and she
Beatles.
wanted to help.
Yeah, as she did with the Beatles, when she sees someone that she feels is in need, that takes priority over anything anyone asked her. So
Yeah.
she's completely forgotten why she's there. She just wants to help out. What's your name again? For a third
Joanne.
time? Joanne.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna write it in
I
chat so I don't
you
keep
were
forgetting.
literally doing what your character description is. It's like on your sheet.
Yeah.
So, that being said, Connor can still see a way this can work to his favor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you see his attention completely past you, just looking into the kitchen, like that kind of just love-struck, dumbstruck look that Kent gets whenever he sees a pretty woman. You know, the way
Right.
he's never looked at Kit.
Yeah. Speaking of which, at this point, Connor slowly turns his attention towards Kit. He points a finger at her, then makes like a mouth with his hand and like clamps it shut.
She starts shaking, vibrating even.
Like, I'm gonna do it.
I'm steaming.
And just kind of waves her away as he moves to take a seat next to Kent there.
Yeah, bottle up your gremlin.
No, I'm gonna go. She's gonna go lurk in his room. I'm gonna go find your porn stash.
he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's do that. It's fine. It's whatever.
Okay, go for. You know what? Actually, that might help us too.
It's all redheads. Fucking- so yeah, you got his attention now. He's just staring off in the distance. You don't have his attention. He's staring off in the distance, and he's pliable.
Right. So, Rumred's quite the. She's a Rumred, huh?
She's not from High Desert, is she? Skin's too nice.
She's mentioned she's not a few times.
Nah, I could tell. The skin's too nice. Doesn't have any of the marks or the burns. It's not like she came from high rise, where she came away from all that solar radiation. His eyes drift momentarily to his mom, and you can see that there's a slight bit of pain there. And he's just kind of, but then they quickly drift back to red.
Yeah. Connor just awkwardly scratches the back of his head before continuing. So, how's guard life been treating you anyway?
I mean, it is what it is. Kind of boring. Kind of the same routine every day. Go to your post, look at people, get off your post, do a patrol, look at people,
Right.
kill a couple rabbits every now and then.
Yeah, same. I get you. Same bog standard stuff. Hey, but your pistol there is pretty cool. Mind if I check that out?
Oh, what, this? And he reads down. That's pretty standard issue. He pulls it out to the side, and it is. It's a standard high-rise manufactured 9mm. And he checks it, but he goes through the proper checking. He takes out the magazine. He checks to make sure that it's not loaded with anything, and he hands it over to you with the rack pulled back, so that you could see into the chamber.
Connor, not really knowing what that means, just kind of like looks in there like, oh, okay. But then his eyes immediately go to the grip, like just looking like as if he's just inspecting it.
Yeah, it's a ballistic, and the ballistics are kind of rare in the high res because of the sand. They jam all the mechanical parts. That's why most people use laser weapons.
Crazy that we still use these.
Yeah, no, it's got a lot. We can still making the blasting caps in the factories and got plenty of brass. So he's like all the gas lines. You don't want to discharge too many high energy.
So, but hey, I got a question for you. This one looks kind of. It kind of just flips it side to side while inspecting it still before handing it back. Looks kind of. I don't want to sound like a dick, but boring.
He scowls when he looks back to you, and then again, you've gotten his attention. He's like, "You making fun of my guns?"
I'm not making fun of your gun. I'm just
He's
wondering.
like-
I see around every now, like a few of these guys have like some fancier looking grip thing going on, and you don't. What's up with that?
He frowns as he holds his hands out to take his sidearm back.
Connor.
Oh, so while this is going on, can Kit kind of snoop in his room?
Oh yeah, 100%. And in this room, it looks like the room of a teenage boy. Like he's never changed it. It's like he's got posters up that have been 3D printed. He's got printed posters that like wasting valuable paper for like a pinup. He's got, plastic, not paper. And then he's got like some entertainment diskettes that are kind of like lying out on a desk. He's got a notebook nearby that's again filled with like a micro thin plastic that has several sheets on it. It's all just, that stuff is all just reports that have been carbon copied. He's also got a small digital display with a little keyboard in front of it, and that's just a login and username on the front of it, but it's locked out.
Ooh.
Crack your fingers. Like,
Is there anything immediately that draws like interest that seems like out of place? Or
I mean, the messy bed that he hasn't made yet is, kind of I mean, he's got some grooming supplies out. Looks like he took a little bit of time to clean up his beard. Other than that, he's got his long gun in the corner, and it's a rifle. It's a standard zap gun that you typically see in the high desert, though. It's got some new parts on it. High-rise parts. You've used zap guns. You've hunted. You're familiar with weapons. Some of the components on that weren't built here.
Yeah.
They don't have that like constantly recycled look. Like people will take a piece of steel and rework it till it practically disintegrates.
Yeah, can she like inspect it a little closer?
Yeah, she picks it up, takes a look, so you can see that like one of the energy chambers is new. Not like manufactured from like something that was maybe like lightly used and like remilled here. No, it's new. Like it's got machine lines on the sides of it that came off of a lathe. It's precision made, and you don't see any like maker's marks or identification except for this like weird little square of a bunch of little other boxes inside of it. Like, you've never seen anything like that before. It's some kind of like identifier mark or code.
I guess I don't imagine like people are walking around with like phones and stuff in their hands, so there's like no way to document this other than I guess like drawing it.
Yeah, you take a rubbing.
Yeah. So I think she'll just do that. She'll find a nice clean sheet of paper and
go over to that pad of
desk.
microplastic and take a little rubbing of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's thin stuff. It's used for literally leaving like marks, like writing onto it. So you take a little rubbing with this like thin plastic kind of paper like substance. You get a nice little rubbing. You got like a charcoal or like a graphite or something like that in your pack, and or something just lying on his desk. You take it, you got it. So you got this imprint now of this like whatever this might be. And then the other side there, you got Joanne in Red Rum, and she's like, wow, I know people on the outside are really forward about stuff, but I don't really like to talk about that.
Well, I hear you, but at the same time, if there's a way to make things easier for you, why wouldn't you, try those?
So, sweetheart, the doctors have done what they can for me.
These doctors have done what they can.
They're really good doctors, and they've done what they can.
They may be. I've seen good doctors too, and they're limited by what they're trained to do. And even if they're trained by the best, sometimes there's others who have their ways. And I happen to know a certain sentient pumpkin that has some really potent skills when it came to healing. I was going to help out Roos. You know who Roos is, don't you? Friend of Kit's.
She gives you a rueful smile. Yeah, I know the handsome devil.
Well, he wasn't going to be too handsome anymore after his face got ripped off. But this here pumpkin goes out and touches him, and boom, all but completely fixed.
She shakes her head. I think I'm the only person who's ever actually called Bruce handsome before.
No.
Probably.
she's like, sweetheart, I think you're talking about mutants. And
Yeah.
as much as I
What's wrong
appreciate,
with that?
well, I don't have any problem with mutants, and I understand that there's some mutations out there with really, well, God-given powers. But
Yeah.
my problem isn't something that somebody with the touch of or grace of God can fix. It's genetic, and it's unraveling, and they've done what they could.
Quick
It's not-
side.
Yeah.
Do I think that's true? Do I think that extreme healing wouldn't be able to touch it?
If it's genetic, the extreme healing won't be able to touch it. If it's just straight cancer, yeah, it could do it.
Okay.
But if she believes that it's just like it's something wrong with her DNA, like is she a mutant? Then the extreme healing can't do anything about it. Surgery, gene therapy, those things can help. And if she's already receiving those, the only other answer would be Unity. That's the only place that can do that kind of stuff.
Okay.
And now you have a little tidbit of information that the other guys don't that might be important.
Okay.
So now Kent looks at you and he scowls like, yeah, fancy guns, huh? That's what you're seeing out there?
A few.
So why don't we cut to the chase of what you think about the fancy guns? What are you asking me?
I'm asking, where are these guns coming from?
All right, well, there's a rumor. So he just kind of shakes his head and he sighs and he looks up at the ceiling and his eyes like settle back on Red. And then he looks over at you once. All right, this is going to sound so stupid. So just hear me out. Some of the guys, they got this, I don't know, goblin, gremlin. I mean, what do you call it? It's, all right, in the barracks, right? So say you've got like a broken set of glasses. So you put it by the vent with like some extra rations. You come back in the morning and they'll be fixed. And, the rations will be gone. And a lot of times they'll be better. So, some guys started leaving different things down there, trying to get different items, different stuff. And word got around, the captain said, stop putting things down out. Like he saw some guns down by like the vent one day and he chewed everybody out for putting things out, believing in pixies and fairies. And then people showed him like, hey, look, it's real. And he was like, no, someone's playing a joke on you. You're a bunch of dumbasses. And I don't know anything about it, man. They're there. It's real. I mean, I've seen the grips. They fit that guy's hand perfectly. Like someone had taken like a soft plastic and he had just, wrapped his hand around it and it formed around that grip. And he'll never drop it again. It's stabilized. And it's not just the grip though. The sights are better. The action's better. The spring load is better. The feel and pull of it's better. The airflow exchange has been tightened up and refined. And like you take down one of the, he's like, he looks over at Red Rum and he's like turns his back like he's trying to hide a secret. And he opens up the weapon, fire him again. He pulls out the firing pin and everything on it. The firing pin looks weird. He's like, so I cleaned this thing just the other day after I went down to the range to squeeze off some rounds. There should be some minor deformities that go onto the pin after it's been hitting brass that many times, but take a look at the tip of that thing. And he hands it to you.
Connor inspects and then he asks, have you used these pixies?
No, I traded the gun with another guy. Mine was a little too small for my hands. White guy. He holds up his hand hawks. You know how it is. But he had done it, and this is what he got back. That pin's not normal steel. It scratches glass. It scratches anything.
Because, Kent, there's... And Connor will get a little more quiet while he says this next part. There's rumor that this is Unity tech.
Yeah, well, you saw 10 dead rabbits when you came in, right?
Yeah.
Smugglers.
But you're not using it, right? You wouldn't be looking to trade with Unity, right?
Me? No. But is it happening? Yeah, it's happening. We can't get a wrap on it. We don't know. Every single hole we plug, 2-3 more appear. It's gotten so bad. He's like, Connor, it's gotten so bad. You can't even go down the bazaar more than a couple dozen steps without finding some Unity tech on someone's freaking stall. So what are we supposed to do? Haul everybody in? And they got it from a guy. They've traded it over at Greywater. They brought it up from Copper Dust. Some people have done it out from the Crossroads region. None of this stuff leads back to Unity. It's not like they're like, yeah, I wandered through Tetanus Valley, fought all the robots there, went up to the oil lake, went into the factories, bought it right at the stand. It's not what's happening. It's getting here some other way. Maybe it's the Underwarrens. I mean, fat chance that's happening, but where the fuck did all the bunnies come from?
Something more has to be done than nothing.
Well,
I didn't lose everything I had for Unity to get his fucking daggers in this place.
You see Kit slowly emerge from the bedroom.
so they're like now facing your direction. He's like, hey, why were you in my room?
I told you what I was doing.
Bullshit. Wait a minute. What? Ah, fuck. What'd you find? What'd you touch?
She lifts up the card.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. He
found
like
it.
dives up over the table. Now, so Red
I'm gonna
Rum,
give this to her.
Red Rum and John are inside the kitchen, and John just kind of like puts her hand in her head. She's like, I swear to God, they've been like this since they were 3.
So Rum would like to yell pretty harshly, "Hey, you're giving your mama a headache! Stop!"
I'm gonna go and show this to the sheriff. She's gonna have such a laugh.
She's like, she comes out. She's like, Red Rum, you're such a sweetheart. Could you take one of these platters for me? She hands up, like, she gives you a cloth with one of the plates of food.
Yep.
Scowling, she steps out. She's already got thunder in her eyes as she's looking at you. And again, she's a frail woman, but she's still got a fire in her. She's like, Kit, sit the goddamn down in that chair over there and eat your damn meal. Kit, stop being a baby about your collectible cards. And Connor, you're a sweetheart.
This is Kent's mom.
If ever there was a scenario of fuck you, you're cool.
How does he get a compliment?
Oh. She just shakes her head ruefully. It's like, just eat your damn meal. She gives you, again, there's a pitcher of water on the table, and we're going to transition scene over to Rhea. So Rhea, you are you going up to the second floor to go meet your dinner guest for the night, or are you doing something else? What are you getting into? Who are you with?
Yeah.
Did you grab Ronan or Cole? Do you got Iliad? You got freaking Kit, or do you got Argo or Whiskey? Like, or did you just go by yourself with crabs?
Yeah, right. Bringing crabs to the dinner party. So probably what went down is before she headed over, she probably got her ass kicked at that freaking logic game or whatever. They were playing at the table with the other nerds. After talking with Clark, Rhea was going to check out the ID card that Rhea got.
Yeah.
Because she was kind of curious, like, because you said before, like, it's electronic, so
yeah,
she was wondering if maybe she could do something with that, because, like, it got a day pass from Mantha, so she's wondering if maybe, like, you can extend that or give her, like, permanent access.
Yeah,
to the first floor.
You're pretty certain, just by looking at it and seeing how it interacts with object, that it's an electronic circuit that's activated by an EM field. And that data is stored when it comes into access with that EM field. So it has to basically get into a point of range where an EM field is active, and then data can be uploaded onto it when it's active in that moment. Those cards, though, if you blow the frequency, they die. So you have to know what the frequency is before you try it. Because it's easy to overload them and kill the little silicone chip on the inside.
Okay. So probably don't want to mess around with that. Okay.
All you
Well,
need
that's
is you need access to a reader. Got to get one. And there's vendors out there; they're using them.
Well, that leads me to the next thing. Is that so they're both Mary and me are gonna kind of like head out of the cantina there, and they're just gonna shuffle along. And Ray's gonna look over at Mira and kind of like give her the nod and be like, "I think it's time for smoke and mirrors." And Mira's just kind of nod back. So they have a bit of a con job that they have up in Greywater.
Oh God!
Where Mira, yeah, she puts on a bit of a show, a distraction, does the whole song and dance thing, and then Rhea kind of goes around and unburdens the audience's pockets for them. It's heavy carrying all that stuff around. But for that, they're gonna need some extra scrap, some more projectors for it to work. So Mira's job, she's gonna go and take some of the scrap guns they have, some of the carbines, probably trade them in for some electronic scrap and see if there's any computer scrap too.
Yeah, there's computer scraps. Let me pull up my my computer scrap modifier. So you're gonna be trading in some guns for just raw. You want to trade in for scrap? Or you want to get silver?
Scrap, silver, whatever.
Okay.
We can work out the exact amounts later, but
okay. So you get some
I
scrap.
want exact change.
Yeah. Yes. You get some scrap. You get some electronic scrap. You get some robotic scrap. It's pretty plentiful here, though. The robotic scrap is like interface screens, logic circuits, a couple hard drives, some circuitry motherboards. With lots of RAM for days. No AIs, nothing really high end. Pretty much, word processors, video game interface terminals, things like that. Photo projectors, definitely find plenty of those because entertainment industry was huge in before the fall. So there's always entertainment industry modules everywhere. It's just nobody knows how to work the damn things. So yeah. Photo projectors, holo projectors, image enhancers, there's plenty of them.
Just anything that can probably use to cobble together, like some makeshift holo projectors.
Right. So you cobble together.
Get some like speakers or something too.
So any kind of holographic image projector always works well when you have some kind of suspended medium for it to be inside of. Otherwise, the image always looks kind of like a hologram. It's kind of semi-transparent, the light kind of passes through it. It doesn't really, the color's not right with the environment it's at. So the more power that you have, the better the projection is. So size always kind of limits you on power. So that whole smoke and mirrors thing is legitimate. You need smoke or like dust or powder or something, something to agitate the air to allow it to be reflective and give it solidity.
That's actually not a huge issue. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you got dust everywhere around here. It's fucking all over the place.
I mean, the fidelity of it is not really that important. It's just that know that the image is there. But
yeah, exactly. So you managed to get some stuff together. You got a couple interesting bits and bobs and pieces. Yes, I think you have a soldering kit, right?
We can assume that they probably have the tools for that. Yeah, like a technician's kit.
She got a couple batteries, slap it together, get something kind of moving in a span of like an hour or two. Got something up and running. It's got a So what do you want? You want like an entertainment thing?
Hey, you just think of something, like a little stage show kind of thing,
Something
that's gonna be for later though.
Okay, so you got that easy to put together. You have it in front of you. There's no check required because this is kind of. It's largely innocent for what other people would use it for. And
okay. Yeah, well, that's basically what Mira's going to be up to, and Rhea's going to head up to her meeting alone, actually.
Okay, alone.
Yeah, they got into a little bit of a spat, little sibling rivalry.
Like, I'm not invited for dinner. It's like you're a crab.
That was kind of more like, are you sure you want to rush into this? We just met Clark. Can you trust him? That's a lot of money. It's a really one-sided kind of argument because Rhea's like, the only one with emotion in the conversation. She's like, I think I know what I'm doing. It's kind of those things.
Okay, so on your transit, you come across Ronan, for whatever reason, you have found yourself in an area where you see a large construction robot. and he has a box. He picks up the box. He moves the box to a location, sets it down. He picks up another box, moves it to another location, sets it down. And he's repeated this process 5 times. He's moved 3 boxes from one side of the hallway to the other side of the hallway. Stopped for a few cycles, picked up the boxes, moved them back. He has got a brushed steel finished body for the most part, and it's kind of bulky. It, like the chest looks almost like a hauberk, and there's some kind of text that's been etched into the upper chest portion, almost like a robot tattoo almost. That's in some kind of Gothic script, and you can see that there between the seams of his platings, it's blue chipped powder paint. It's like a light cerulean, along with little bits of red and some little items of white here and there. Then you see Rhea passing by, in her own head.
Oh, that robot is best character.
Hard worker, that one.
Mm-hmm. Is Pat, you here?
Yep.
All right. So you see Rhea. You're running.
Rod's after her.
Oh
Now,
no.
mind you, he just runs like kind of like Ed or like Pretty Ricky would have. Kind of like runs. His head's kind of heavy, so it leans back and is just flail behind him.
What are we doing, Double D?
Peek, 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 peek.
I was wondering where you got to. What do you want, Ronan?
Just waits.
Coming along. I'm coming to meet a friend.
He nods,
New
pulls
friend.
out a severed finger from somewhere, puts it in his mouth.
Well,
That works.
Sure. You might work at dessert. Maybe they might want to try some of you. I can't be responsible for what they do. I just met them. But you're welcome to tag along.
Nods.
I'll just tell them my pumpkin has anxiety and I couldn't leave him at home alone.
Anxious pumpkin noise.
My pumpkin has anxiety. So
Just follows along with Ray, just staring blankly.
So actually, where is Rhea right now and Mira?
residential district, where you guys are.
Okay, so Bruce wouldn't be near there right now.
He could be. He's a citizen. He could be there.
He very well could be, but he's probably out doing his bountying.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, could be stalking children. So,
Picking up kids. Who is your daddy and what does he do?
so you got to go past this robot and you get to the other side of the hallway, and there's this small woman who's there. She's like going, no, to stop with the boxes to the left and the right. Oh, good. I just said put them on the right, and then you can stop. And the robot's just standing stock still in the middle of the hallway. And you kind of like navigate around it. And she's like, "Come, all right, lower down. Let me see your processing unit." He's like lowering down, and you hear like a grinding noise, like a burst of static. Rhea, you know what that is? That was machine code language. That was binary. It was a binary burst meant to communicate something.
Uh-oh.
But you don't know if the female that's there has a binary unit to be able to pick it up, but they do seem to be talking to each other. Because every now and then you hear another, short burst of like, Bert. And she's like, yeah, man, okay. Yeah, I'll get on it. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay. And she seems to be like massaging the robot's like mental state.
Aw.
That goes past you, and you come to an area where you start seeing more beast humans. Now you go past the first floor, which you went by a bunch of humans, pure stocks. And you get onto the second floor, and it suddenly transitions over to mutants and beast humans. It doesn't decrease in quality. Some of the doors are smaller, which seems to help some of the people that are smaller, because a lot of the beast folk are smaller. And you see other rabbits, different varieties and breeds. And they're moving about their business. They're wearing jumpsuits that are tailored for their size. They have grimy hands. You walk past an area that's definitely like a citizen's stall. You have a little eatery that's been carved out of like one of the old homes that's there. And people are sitting down at stools, getting algae served up to them and like little drinks. And again, it's a community with little kind of stores and shops and people talking back and forth. There's even a few areas where you come to spots where horticulture is being put up, where they have soilless plant beds where they have like different cabbages and varieties of food that are suspended in tubes, so that, and you have people kind of like picking and walking about them and just chatting, having a good time. And amongst the mix of them, you see in her little jumpsuit, moving with a bundle of carrots and cabbage, the lady that you talked to earlier, Amantha. And she turns and she sees you, and her pink nose wiggles up and down, and her ears fall back. She's like, "Oh, Rhea, I was getting veggies." And she like holds up the bundle of vegetables that she has.
She just kind of like raise her arm in her hand, wave over her. It's like, I see that.
Oh, and I see you brought veggies too. And
Yeah.
she sees Ronan.
Still drinking out of his face bag.
Yeah,
Waves.
don't mind him. I couldn't get him to not follow.
She like looks down at the stuff she has, then she walks over and she puts some of the squashes back. Yeah, we probably don't want to eat those.
I'm
You know,
sure you probably want
Ronan
one.
picks up one of the squashes.
You know, I imagine this whole time that Ronan, we talk to him, you know, like as if he's a kid, but in reality, you just hear a demonic voice that talks about like taking over the world.
Soon, my seedlings.
That reminds me, you're gonna know, because part of what Mira's doing is making a little text-to-speech thing for him. That's what the computer parts were for.
Yes, yes.
You just blink.
Oh god.
We will consume all.
Let's take that away. This was a bad idea. Can't wait till Ronan can speak. So she's like, "Okay, follow me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the Cottontail district. I know the name is. It exists.
Ronan
Naming
points out
conventions
where a
are
nose
best.
would be.
Wait, what?
He points at his face as to where a nose would be to indicate it's a little on the nose.
Yeah. Ronan, that's rude.
And she kind of like waddles and hops away. And when you come to that section, you can see it's a normal hallway that's been split in half on the vertical plane, so that there's two
So it's got an
decks.
upper and lower half.
Yep. And they've welded in like new floors and like that, and it's for the smaller beast folk, humans. And then she turns around, she looks at Ronan. How tall is Ronan?
I think he's actually
He's under 2 meters. He's like a meter, right? It's pretty
Yeah.
short.
yeah, he's only about a meter or so.
Yeah.
He's still taller
Squeezing
than
through.
Rhea a bit.
Those be like one of those square watermelons when he comes out.
Yep.
Probably.
She looks at
He's
him and like,
malleable.
he'll fit.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
shove,
he'll fit.
push.
He just starts reducing his vinage so that he's shorter. He's still got the big fat pumpkin head.
And that big fat pumpkin booty. You have the roll in
Firm.
there with a thap, thap, thap.
Bounce a quarter off that.
So she's like, "Oh yeah, he'll fit. He'll be fine. Yeah, it's fine." And she goes on like a few rows in, and then she finally comes to her door. She's like, "Here we are," and she gives a very distinct set of knocks. And Rhea, you are familiar with that as a code, safe. It's a safe
Safe?
code. Yeah, it's a safe
Safe
code. Yeah, so like,
Ah.
tap, 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 pause, tap, tap, tap. In the
Ronan
underworld,
confirms it to memory.
where you can't see things, and you can't use communication devices because of all the magnetism down there, you don't want to give away your position. People use tap callouts in order to identify friend from foe, in order to be able to send messages across the tunnels and the long distances. You do ring taps, metal on metal, and it travels a long distance.
Ray will note that's kind of an old one.
It's like, yeah, that code doesn't really check out anymore.
Yeah, we had a few updates.
And you hear a swinging lock open up just like the other one, and the bulkhead opens with loud creak, and there's an older rabbit on the inside with a pearly white eye with a deep scar on one side of that where you can see almost down to the bone. And she's got a sawed-off shotgun in one hand that's been sized down to her size. And you can see the air injection ports on the back of it, and that barrel comes sliding out. And her daughter just kind of nimbly tucks herself underneath it, the shotgun parting her ears. She's like, "It's okay, Mama. I brought friends. I told you about them, Mama. It's okay." She's like,
All right, yeah, chop me. She lifts up the weapon and eyeballs both of you, Rhea and Ronan.
Ronan waddles in with no care.
Yeah. Ray just kind of like pulls out her arm and is like, oh, okay, all right. She'll take off her helmet and kind of like out of respect again for the gray hair, but
Deep down.
kind of follow in behind Ronan, yeah.
She looks you over once and she breathes in deep in her mangled face and her nostrils flare out. Oh, I can smell. I smell the desert on you. Blood. She's creepy. And her daughter,
Rhea loves her.
yeah, Amantha's like, okay, Mama, that's enough. All right, go sit down in your chair. It's gonna be okay. She's like, that planetoid there. Where you from? You from Demon Rope? You up down there past the mills?
Nods.
So,
He offers her a drag off of his face back.
she takes a look at it. She doesn't even bat a single eye when she sees it's made of stitch of human faces. Just tips it up and sucks a draw out of it. Lip to lip contact. Make sure nothing gets spilled out. Hands it back to Ronan as she waddles back to her rocking chair and sits down, using the shotgun as a walking cane. Well, man. Guests we have. That's what you said, guests. Would you bring the fresh carrots? You bring those carrots, girl? She's like, yes, Mama, I brought the carrots. She like holds them up in her hands. You see the bright orange carrots. And she's like, oh, that's good. That's good. A lot of good men died for them carrots.
Yep.
Her mom's
Ray's got,
yeah, her mom's
like an
nuts.
armful.
Yeah.
Oh, like the fucking the polys. He's got an armful of them still in the fucking tinfoil. He's like, I brought the polys. I
Oh,
think he called them no comprendes.
oh, I like them. Put them on there. Let's get them hot.
Is there a Mr. Carrots?
Ronan finds a random bowl and just kind of throws up some pumpkin guts in it. Puts it on the table.
Oh, I didn't know we were gonna be eating plantoid as well. This is a rich day. And she like gets up out of her chair, waddles over to the table. It's like, no, Mama, I'll bring it to you. Just relax, Mama. You get excited. You damn girl. And they have like a little argument before she finally gets her settled down in her rocking chair, and she's muttering to herself, and she turns. Oh, I haven't seen her so animated in weeks. This is amazing. I was right to bring you along. Amantha says as she sets up some carrots onto the table after cleaning them along some cabbage. You know, good, healthy, fresh vegetable fare, along with some good bugs. And she's like, it's all pleasant talk. It's just pleasantries like, well, so where are you from? Where are you going to? You know, how are things down? Like, when was the last time you were down in the Deep Downs? Like, how are things down at Dead Down? And she uses all of the human terms for the underwater locations. You know, she doesn't use the correct underwater names for things. And her mother's is like, there's no home, girl, no home. It's where your roots are from. So her mom is definitely a deep downer. She's still wearing her old war jacket that's been re-sewn. It's tattered. It's got patches all over it. But you see a patch on there that you know is like one of the worst patches. It's got a black knife with a silver tip on it. That's a Night Raider.
Ooh, Night Raiders.
Those are some of the most wicked of the different groups of rabbit raiders that go down into the Deep Downs. Those are the ones that go on suicide missions, bombs, explosives, gas attacks. They do brutal killings. That's what's sent when there's a revenge killing needing to be done. A message needs to be sent.
That's hardcore.
Oh, you like that,
There's
bitch?
some respect there.
You
Yeah.
like that? You like that there? Oh, I'll tell you some stories, girl. And she
Dad told
does.
me you came from there.
And she does. She regales you with horror after horror as her daughter's like, oh, no, Mama, not those stories. And I guess these are what Ray like is like, yeah, I'm into it.
It's like, I've been there.
While they're doing
Not quite
that,
strapped a
Ronan's-
bomb to my chest, but
While they're doing that, Ronan's just applying random sweet sap to carrots to make them glazed.
Amantha at first like doesn't eat them. She's like, oh, okay, that's weird. And then like randomly she just like picks up one up. She's fascinated with this interplay between Rhea and her mother, and she like eats one on accident, like makes like a weird face, looks at the rabbit, looks at Ronan,
Waves.
looks at the rabbit, looks at the carrot, looks at Ronan. Huh. It just kind of nibbles on it some more. Huh. It just keeps eating it. Huh. You taste good.
Nuts.
Just keeps kind of munching on it. So Rhea, you try to besides just being social, do you want to get anything out of this?
So having a look around the place, what's kind of like the general vibe going on in there?
General vibe is day laborers. Not a lot of money. You can see like patchwork being done, plumbing's been done by themselves. You can see a lot of stuff has been modified heavily in order to like suit their size. You can definitely see it's just the two of them. There's a lot of little chatskis, little things that are like laid out on the table, things that a young woman would like, a shiny object here or there that maybe she found at the market. She kind of like to look at it, put it up as a decoration. And then you have what seems to be her mother's space, like her corner, and there's an old twisted gauntlet on the table that has been polished to a shine because of the amount of times that someone's picked it up and touched it. There's seems to be a long bayonet knife where the tip of the blade is chipped at a really rough angle, but one end has been like sawed open, so in order to create barbs on the inside of it, so if it gets lodged, it wouldn't get out again. There's a pair of boots that have been religiously shined over and over and over again, despite probably haven't been used in over a decade. But they're not dry rotted, and you can see the strings on them still look new. The buckles are fresh and oiled. And those boots will go on and still work. And they're odd shaped, the ones that you would need to put on a rabbit's foot.
I imagine those kind of look like those freaking, like those, what was the word? Like those barefoot shoes. They're
like a Vibram toe foot. Yeah.
Yeah, God, those things gross. It's toe socks.
I love them.
No.
Yeah, I like that. I like that second skin between my toes. It's like walking through mud. Like the feeling like it squishes. Yeah. So yeah, she's got all that stuff there. Like she's ready to go. She's got her weapon. It's oiled. It's maintained. You can see the gas tank on the side of it's charged. She's even got like a crude plumber's tape in order to keep the threads good and locked together good. She's got a little rucksack in the back, a bug out bag, probably packed with rations and a survival kit to be able to hit the desert today. And her daughter's got none of that stuff. She,
oh my God, she's a prepper.
Yeah. She's a crazy nom-vet. And her daughter's a hippie.
Love it.
I knew you'd come.
So the war's starting. We're gonna go back down.
The war never ended.
That's damn right, never ended. Can't let them get in there. How's the king?
King?
The old man, the leader, the chieftain.
He died 6 years before we came here.
What do you mean?
The king is dead.
She looks like left and right. And then you can see Amantha like pat her hands on the table like, oh, game, let's play a game. And she's like, I'll get the cards. And she kind of like waddles out into her room and comes back with a board game with some cards. Yeah, this is a great one. She starts laying them out and everything. And her mother's like looking confused. And you quickly start to realize her mother's probably got dementia.
Yeah. Ray's gonna step on all the landmines in this.
Yeah.
While this is going on, Ronan's gonna roughly measure her height with like a vine. And start twisting his brambles to make a cane and then break it off of himself.
2 foot nothing.
She's like looking at this thing that you're offering. What I'm gonna do with this here? I'm gonna whip some kids with this. What I'm gonna do? I don't need no cane. Got my gun.
Nods excitedly.
He's like, no, I got this. And she leans in, and then she like takes a minute. She looks at the cane again, and then she looks at her gun. And then she leans on the cane and picks up the gun, and she smiles.
Claps.
What's the PSI on that thing?
He makes the walking motion and the shooting motion simultaneously.
PSI on this one, so she rattles off some numbers for you, and it sounds like she's walking around with a 44 equivalent.
It'll kill a human. It'll drop them good at 50 yards or less.
Respectable.
Yeah. But it's a scatter gun. She shows you the modifications she's done to it. She's like, and she shows you all the little fun little details. Again, deep downer. She customized her own weapon. It's an explosive scatter gun that shoots micro pellets and hits people in their gas masks and their bodysuits.
Ray's looking at us like, my sister would love to see this.
Yeah. So basically, it's a shrapnel device, so they get in there when we drop a blood agent in.
So
Now-
April, Amantha tells me that, well, you've been here how many years now?
Oh, she thinks it over for a minute, and she's, well, since she's born, what's that make it? And Mantha stands up. I'm like looking right now. I'm like, how old did these fucking rabbits get? it's not that long.
No, they have a fairly short lifespan.
It's 28 years, and the funny thing
years?
is Amantha's actually older than Rhea.
So she's probably been here for like 15 years.
Not bad.
We dog it.
So how'd you get out?
Oh, bad raid. Gas got dropped in one of the tunnels. We get surrounded. Found ourselves an access tunnel to the top side out in Lost Soul. Came up inside the bottom under of a building in deep fog. There's monsters in that fog, girl. Monsters like you've never seen before, but we small, we quick. We get up underneath those monsters. They don't see us. We be quiet. Move from building to building, sneak our way around and out. Found a caravan. Get up underneath those wheels, hold on tight, dear. They had some kind of device that made this loud pitched noise. Didn't seem to bother none of the humans none, but it was murder on my ears. Kept the monsters away though. Get to the edge and they separated themselves from the caravaneers. Walked right back into Lasso like nothing's wrong. Weird folk, tall folk in long cloaks carry staffs with a strange device on the top. Don't know what that was. Never seen their kind or like before. We take that caravan all the way over to Colossus. And then the damn beetles found us, sniffed us out right away. And Amantha's like, so this game is called Monopoly. She's like putting out money and like parts. It's a recreation from an old world game. As her mother's like talking about Charlie and the trees over here.
Yeah.
Like,
Ray's
come
like, "Ooh,
together."
I want to be the shoe. I want to be the shoe.
Yeah, I'm like, give me a shoe.
The dog is mine.
The dog is mine, yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a little rabbit icon that's definitely somebody made out of pewter and cast and put on there.
Actually, Ray's got her own pewter figurine. She whips that out, and it's one of the. It's a little pewter figurine of the king.
Oh,
Ronan slowly reaching out to eat one of the houses.
Amantha's is like, no, they're not for eating. Put it back. We need those.
Put it down. Sad pumpkin noise.
And they get all it out. She like gives you a little rule thing that you can read. And she explains the rules quickly. And her mother's like, I hate this game. I never win.
Explain to me the idea of owning property.
She just kind of chuckles. Human concept.
Yeah.
But you
Wouldn't it be so funny if Kit, Connor, Kent, and all of them were playing Monopoly too?
It's like a really popular game in High Rise. Like every family has like a board game of Monopoly that they break out. It's just print. It's like one of the ones they have on memory file. They just print it out. Hasbro sends me a cease and desist. We can't do the fucking stream anymore.
No, just call it high rise.
Yeah, High Rise. Yeah,
You get to own different levels of the high rise.
different businesses. Rise to the top. Rise to the top of High Rise. You get the 3 points. It's so that whole conversation just weirder and weirder and weirder as she's talking about all the wild shit that happens out in the high desert around the feeding grounds. Apparently she traveled around there for a while as a mercenary, killing beasts, bringing back their rotted corpses for money at Colossus, where the beetles just feasted on them. Can't tell if half the story's bullshit or not, but it's but apparently she's been all over. Got pregnant, carried the baby to term, brought it out, and she was like, I gotta settle down in someplace safer than the wilderness of this shithole. And then she found herself in High Rise.
Got some more stories of my own. Never heard of Gold Eater.
Shakes her head. No, never heard of Gold Eater.
Okay, fuck it, you wouldn't understand. Actually, I got a question.
Is it a fogling?
Fogling?
Those creatures that come out with a fog.
No, I know what you meant, but no, it wasn't a small one.
No, I mean the big ones.
Yeah.
Ones looks like what the books describe as an elephant. Move 4 legs across the world. Thunder in their feet.
Bigger than that, actually.
Bigger.
Took 2 cannonballs to the face and still was fighting.
God damn. She's thinking about it. One of those foglings came up out of the dark. Now, I heard there used to be these things called hydraulic knights. Used to fight them toe to toe in the desert. Ridiculous. Mythology. Can't be real. I saw 20 beetle men come up there with those lances they have, the ones that shoot energy. Stood in a line trying to take one of those things down, and it killed them all. Not till they got that big gun up on the top of that thing's head shooting, then it died. Oh, it died good. And I saw fire coming out of that statue's face.
If you want to hear stories about the hydraulic knights, I got a treat for you. There's one in town right now.
Shakes her head like, nah, that's what people say. I'm old. I don't believe in fairy tales.
Fair enough. What do you make of the new cult?
Well, cults. What we decided was their Santa Claus. It was Esther.
Oh, right, Esther the Bunny.
Yeah, Esther the Bunny that brings
Santa
gifts.
Claus.
Yeah,
Anybody
Esther.
who gets that, no, you're close, but you're not quite there.
Yeah, it's Esther. Yeah, Esther the giving rabbit.
You're so close.
Damn.
Dig a little deeper.
I only remember Ishtar, the goddess of fertility, which is why we have Easter.
That's what the joke is. It's Esther the rabbit of something.
Yeah, the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, Esther, the Esther Bunny. Yeah, Esther,
Yeah, Esther the
Esther
Bunny.
Bunny. The Esther Bunny. Yeah,
shit.
she's like, you talking about the Esther Bunny? I mean, they're out there
Fuck.
dancing, singing about how
Yeah,
everything's gonna be given
everywhere.
gifts. Yeah.
No, I'm off track now. Shit. What were we just talking about? I'm sorry.
Oh, she was talking about the cultists. Have you seen the cultists?
Oh, the cultists.
And
Yeah,
she was
no.
like, yeah, it was like, what do you mean, the ones about the Esther Bunny? And she's just like cackling about it, like, yeah, I know about the Esther Bunny.
Yeah,
Like,
good old Esther. She does like that thing where like does a loop over her head and like across, makes like a basket symbol.
The Peter Cottontail. Pop it up. I know all the legends.
No, maybe you don't know. Sure enough, Samantha, you know what I'm talking about, right? Those
Yeah,
freaks.
I know. Yeah, I mean, they don't really mean nothing harmful. They go out there and they preach things like, be kind to your neighbor, help out those in need, find love in your heart for, all mankind, and we're all the same under the light of God. Well, they don't call it God, they call it something else. Shol Ehud Shathaun Shathavun. It's hard to pronounce.
So you know nothing. They just showed up one day. That's it. Everyone was just like, all right.
I mean, they've been around for like in small bits here and there. I mean, they handed out pamphlets every now and then, but recently they seem to be everywhere in the past few weeks.
Do they have some place where they, what's the word? Congregate?
Well, yeah, there's the public meeting hall for non-citizens on the first on the underdeck. I know that they have like a weekly sermons they do down there, and they initiate new members and whatnot. But really, that's about it. I mean, they're
using a
everywhere.
piece of paper.
I mean, they're literally everywhere. I mean, my shop foreman's one of them. I mean, hell, I even heard the sheriff's one now.
That doesn't concern anyone?
I mean,
If your religion just pops up out of nowhere and all of a sudden everybody starts... I mean, I might not be the sharpest, but that strikes me as a little bit suspicious.
China shrugs. I mean, it's that or Christians. Take it. She's like, take
Ronan
your
writes
pick.
out about his interaction with the goat.
And
Just writes out, goat man bad. Mind attacks friends.
oh, that's new. She like looks at your note written there.
can't say I've heard anything Hashmel doing anything wrong before. Seems to be kind of a model citizen. He's probably going to get approved for citizenship soon. Pretty quick, too. He's only been here for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Ronan jots down, if Goatman touches friends, goat blood spilt.
Okay. Amantha nods her head. That's...
As he sets his razor sword in front of him.
Wow, okay, swords on the table. And then Amantha's like, nope, no weapons on the table. And then it's like, her mom's like, yeah! And takes a knife like off her side, puts it on the table. Kill the goat man!
Rhett does it too, just slams on the table. Boom. Who's bigger?
Amantha's like, okay, now all the pieces are off, right? And I don't remember. God, where was I at?
Actually, hand me that bit of paper Ronan just gave you, and do you have a lighter? We probably shouldn't leave that floating around.
He just takes it and eats it.
Alright, that works.
It's like cannibalism, right?
Meh.
It's
I
plastic.
mean, he was eating a gourd earlier.
Yeah.
He's more gourd than paper.
So it's like that's
The
like
usual concept, like, I don't know this guy.
so you got her mother going like, kill the goat man, got him, eat his blood. And Amantha's just like, and the light's gone, it's ruined. I'm getting the liquor out. This is done. You know what? Fine, whatever. Vodka for everybody.
Ron is just playing with the wheelbarrow.
I feel bad for this bunny.
This is why you don't invite strangers into your house.
Yep. they start a revolution with your senile mother.
I know. She's just trying to make friends, and then they're torturing a poor, demented old rabbit.
Torturing. She's having the time of her life right now.
Yeah.
She's loving this shit. She's having drink and booze. She's with a deep downer and a fucking crazy pumpkin man with a razor sword. She's like, we're going on an adventure. We're gonna fight some fucking foglings.
I can't wait for like this rabbit to come back to like the main party and be like, my mother's gone.
I was expecting that fully. Be like, my mother's not here yet, but she'll be here soon. And then it turns out she's one of the hang rabbits.
Like, oh.
No.
That's what I was going to expect this to happen. Yeah.
Uncomfortable pumpkin noise.
Nah, my mom's gonna love you. She'll be here soon. Don't worry.
Don't worry. She'll be here soon.
It's 6
Just
hours
sitting
later.
there.
God, she's never out this late.
I wasn't gonna be that fucking morbid.
After what you did to Kent's mom, I was like, oh god, this rabbit's dead.
No. This rabbit's basically a brain in a jar now. Oh, no.
I just want to point out the only old person you've seen here was a freaking parasitic life or like host body for a fucking another life form.
Yeah.
Talk about you for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the only old person you've seen so far. People don't get old in the high desert. Age is a luxury.
Oh.
Yeah, cancer gets you every time.
Ooh, we should sing some traditional songs from Dead Down, from New Home.
And so, for whatever reason, in my mind, I think it's going to be in Spanish.
It's German.
It's German? Yeah, it's going to be German.
Yeah,
German.
Ray rolled 6 out of 6 for German, speaking German, so the universe made a canon that they all speak with the German
Okay,
accent
speak with the
now.
German accent. So you got her mother like sitting there singing Erica.
Yeah.
Mantha's just like with her hands in her head, and, like little paws on her face, like, and it's done. The whole night's gone. I was just trying to plan a nice night.
Rachel's like, I usually don't drink, but I can make an exception.
Yeah, you guys
It
are
just
just
gets
having fun
rowdier and
now.
rowdier all night. Yeah.
So that'll be you guys freaking for the rest of the evening, drinking and singing German songs with a bunch of bunny rabbits singing German songs until Amantha finally gets loose enough to join in. I mean, things that were lullabies to her when she was little.
That's hilarious.
And now we're gonna go over. So we haven't covered Cole, we haven't covered Iliad, we haven't covered Whiskey Tango. And Roos, really. Too much. We've done a little bit with Roos.
Mm-hmm.
And Rufus. Rufus hasn't had his time in the limelight.
Rufus. I don't know. I feel like Iliad should be saved for last, just because he kind of... Isn't he supposed to be going to Kent's house, too, because of... He was invited
For dinner.
for dinner that he can't eat because he's a robot.
We lost him.
Hello, Iliad.
Yeah, no, that's the plan. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what about Cole? What about who's he with?
Cole's with anybody that wants to be with him. If he's by himself, he's gonna actually see if there's a miners union.
Oh, I was gonna actually throw Roos in there. I was gonna throw Roos in Cole. Yeah.
Need something.
Yeah. You wanna go rustle up some ankle biters?
Yeah, all right. Pulls Valentine off his back. Is this, what, going in and kill or no?
Nah, you can't kill him.
Ah, damn it. All right, let's do it.
I'll split the pay with you, though.
Nah, that's all right.
Wait, really?
Anything for an excuse for a scrap. Start them when they're young.
So what you think of my hometown? What you been getting up to?
Not a whole lot. Been shooting the shit with some of the people in the lower dregs. Good booze.
Very good booze, yeah.
Otherwise, I've been trying to pay more attention to the comings and goings. Y'all got some weird cult shit going on around here.
I saw that. I don't know what that's about.
I don't know. Organization's always a good or bad thing. Organization around people's a good thing. Organization around a thing isn't.
Roos shrugs. He's not particularly religious, really.
Yeah. I always likened it to the idea of, people in a town working together is good. But people that work for something like a mining, people want to take that thing from others. You know what I mean? Can't take people from each other for the most part.
Yeah, I
Find
can
new
get
people.
behind that.
Anyways, where are we headed? Who's this little shit we gotta find?
Where are they headed? Oh wait, he said Gus said the bazaar. We should ask around. That's right. So yeah, Ursula walk around the bazaar, question some people. It's not really hard for people to cough up information because he looks scary, and they also probably know him. I'm not sure what kind of population we agreed on with High Rise, but I imagine there's plenty of people around that know who Roos is, at least. And criminal and non-criminal.
Okay. I'm trying to get up Ara, and he just had to leave, I think. I know he wanted to sell something. So I wanted to put Whiskey Tango in this scene to have him be accosted by these kids. So,
Oh, yeah!
Cease and desist. Cease and desist. They're trying to climb him like a statue.
like, quick, get his circuitry. We gotta go.
Is he not feeling good?
I don't know. Is he good? I messaged him. I don't know if he's gonna be able to come back.
I imagine he's finding out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll try to find out.
No, he just went offline. I think he had to disconnect. All right, that's fine. We'll push it the other way. All right, so we're gonna do this to Cinder then. Cinder, you're getting accosted by children.
Ah!
So
Hell yeah.
So Cinder, you're out. You had just left you were at the watering hole last, right?
Yep.
Poor guy gets accosted twice. Because weren't you just accosted in the other episode?
Almost shanked in an alleyway.
Yeah, weren't you getting shanked in the alleyway? Well,
I think I got shanked.
no, we were being funny.
Yeah, you were just getting the talk with a friend of yours concept.
Hee hee. Your girlfriend.
Aw,
She thinks.
gross.
No, I saw it. Dude, Cinder got shanked and died.
Oh no.
Oh, Iliad's here too? Awesome.
Iliad also got shanked and died.
That's impressive.
I know.
We got a serial shanker on the loose.
No. I think this is more important than catching kids then.
So
Timmy.
sorry, I was just communicating back and forth. All right. So with you're out in the bazaar. You're saying like Roos, you're looking into some older contacts, trying to talk to some other people, figure out what's the lay of the land.
Yeah. I imagine it's not very hard for him to find out who these kids are, because either someone knows Bruce and they also know these children, and they could probably point him into the direction. Like I said, I don't know like what the population of high rise that we pinpointed was on, but I imagine that it's big enough for it to be spacious, but it's also small enough so that, you know, people know like the typical residents.
Yeah, people. Yeah,
Cole's
people
just
know
accosting
people.
random children that run by, snatching them up by the collar and asking them.
Yeah, and
Kids are like, no, not me, bud. No, it's not me at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Please, I gotta go to school. I gotta go home.
Where?
School, home,
where
church,
they
something. Like, yeah, they just literally, like, every kid you grab like knows absolutely nothing for the most part. They're just begging you, and other people are saying, you're like, dude, the kids, come on, let them go. What do? They steal something from you? I'll help you beat them up. That's like, it's like 50-50. But Cinder, when you were you spy two children that are
Okay.
acting suspicious.
Yeah.
Now, from your
Put 'em
vantage
down.
point, from your vantage point, they're trailing a bit behind. Now, you spot Roos and Cole. Cole interrogating kids, kind of being loud about it. Roos, chatting up other people in the community that he knows, and there's these two steely-eyed kids in the back who are watching them, and they're being quiet about it. And they're good at being nondescript and sticking to an area and kind of flowing between, like, and just not being spotted.
What I would like Cinder to do, or what Cinder would like to do, is try to maneuver through the crowd to get behind them.
All right. So they're not watching you because you're just another guy in the crowd. You're not you're not really chatting. Again, they haven't really picked out, you can tell they haven't picked out Roos yet. They've picked out Cole though, because of just how kind of big, and he is big and just kind of loud he is. And they're eyeballing him. So you manage to get to a point where you're
It's
behind
also
them.
the only idiot walking around in a gas mask.
Now, see, here's the thing about Cinder. You can see that one of the kids is preternaturally aware of stuff around him. Like, the way he moves is weird. You've only seen this in a couple other select people. Robots, androids with extrasensory senses, and mutants that have either like some kind of psychic ability where they can almost feel or predict what's going to happen around them. And one of them is just kind of flowing a little too easily. His foot's a little too light. He's blending and moving with the crowd like a fish does through water. The other one is not as good, not as slow, but he's practiced. And it's it's a bit.
Well, I'm aware then that the preternatural one, but I'm gonna go ahead and just start walking in their direction, and if I get close enough, I'm gonna grab them both by the back of their necks and lift them up in the air. And if I can't get that close, well, we'll see what happens.
All right. So, Bruce, you're familiar with the lay of the land. You get a kind of description of the kids from one of the other guys that he's a vendor here. He's like, yeah, these two kids, they walk around, but nobody can catch them. Like, you feel like you're getting up on them, and they just vanish into thin air every time. And no one's been able to figure out, like, all the feeds that come back, fuzzy. It's like they know where the cameras are, or what the resolutions are, how to pass underneath them.
What are they taking?
He's like, honestly, stupid stuff. Food, small batteries, supplies. Nothing that anyone's going to get too alarmist about. And honestly, if they were looking for food, they could just head to one of the work camps and just get enlisted. So I don't know why they're sneaking around hiding constantly. It's not like we have homeless people down here. We try to take care of our own. You work, you eat. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, you're right. A little weird.
I think they're drop-offs. Maybe somebody came in with a caravan and left them here. I don't even know if they speak English. So when you see off to the corner, you hear a yelp and a cry, and you can see Cinder with one of them yanked up in the air.
Well,
And that
Oh,
picture,
yeah, when I do it, it's a bad thing.
and that picture that your buddy there, that good old snot face drew, wasn't that far off. That's an ugly kid.
Wow, he actually did it. He holds up the.
It's got a weird round head, kind of lumpy face.
God, you're an ugly little shit, ain't you?
Well, I gotta apologize to him, I guess.
I got a bag for him if he wants.
And like the kid's up in the air, and you guys like, Dad, get off me! What are you doing? Dad, don't touch me! Come on! And you feel little like discharges of static run through your gauntlet and into your arm. It's not doing you any harm, but it's another mutant power.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the other smaller one is trying to kick you in the shin, and it's just hitting your armor. It's like, let him go. Neither of them brandish a knife. There's no weapons. But
Bruce Bruce saunters on over there. Well, Cinder, it looks like you got me some the ankle biters we're looking for.
I'll scoop up the other one before it can try to run.
Yeah, these ones were scoping you out, and as a experienced observer, I could tell that they were, not liking you and meaning you ill. So
That's
Much obliged.
I kind of overheard your questions, and I put one and one together and came up with two, and I gestures to the two that he got.
So the one that you've got, Cinder, you got wrapped up. He's pointing and screaming at you to his brother in a language you don't know. You've never heard it before, and it's odd. It's almost sing-songy. It goes up and down a lot. It's tonal, and the other kid freezes and just goes stock still.
What language?
Cole wouldn't know either.
I
imagine. I think he only speaks English, right?
No, he speaks Common, Warmort, Hakka, Chinese, Portuguese, Korean, Bengali, Mandarin, and Japanese.
Jesus, why does Cole know so many languages?
This is what I ended up rolling on his language chart.
It's Mandarin Chinese.
I was like, you don't know me.
It's genetic memory, dude. Someone injected you with
Right, they
language.
did. They give him an engram.
The weirdest batch for a minor.
So with that, they're speaking Mandarin to each other, and what he had said was, "That's a hollow man. Run! That's a hollow man." But then you scooped up the kid that was about to run.
Yeah, I'll talk back to him.
What are you saying?
I don't know what that means, but it's nothing. I in Mandarin to him.
Like both kids now just stare at you with huge eyes, like, "Oh no!"
Oh yes.
What are you saying, Cole?
Some gibberish about some new playing card or something. I don't freaking know.
That's what you're worried about? You should be worried about getting in the slammer.
Yeah, I'll try to convey it to them. I'll actually ask them, what are they so afraid of?
Right now, immediately, the hollow man.
Yeah, I've gone from scooping the kid up by his britches to holding him in two hands like a football.
Can Roos discern, are these kids making any gestures to this hollow man, or?
Oh yeah, they're basically trying to point at Cinder. They're calling him, and it's whatever it is. They're afraid of him.
Oh, look at that! You done scared the hell out of them, Cinder.
Maybe Hollow Man stands for Lawman.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
No, Cinder knows exactly what it really means, but he's going to play it
Cole
out.
doesn't understand at all. That's why he's ranting about some other nonsense.
Yeah.
Apparently they're calling him a hollow man. I don't know.
Oh,
Isn't that when you believe in something, or is that holy? I forget.
hollow man. The hell?
There's
That's a Holly Man, Holly.
Isn't that a berry or something?
Yeah, but people believe in that shit,
He knows all these languages, but not the definitions of the words.
Roos does look a little.
He's not smart. Cole is not an intelligent man.
He's a
He
Chinese
just
box.
understands things because he's been programmed to know it.
So there's a man that walks up, He's wearing one of those robes of the cultists.
I mean, he's got a 40, and he's smarter than Banjo.
He has. He removes the hood, and you can see it's the goat man Hashmal. And he says, "It means a man without a soul."
So that's a little rude.
Like looking, like again, not like you can tell because it's just the blank mask stare, but side-eyeing the goat.
I would say that because the kids are acting like, I guess terrified, he would kind of give Cinder a little look down and then look back to them, and then back at the goat man.
And I'll grab the other kid if Cinder's willing to let go of him.
Yeah, Cinder's willing to let go of him. Cinder looks at the goat man and says,
I got them too if they run.
"I don't take kindly to being called soulless. Who says you have a soul? Maybe I should cut you open and find out."
He chuckles. That's. It's like, I would appreciate the opportunity to see what is on the inside if it truly matches what my beliefs say it is. But I'm simply translating what the children are saying.
Come on now, not in my town.
He has no, I understand. It is aggression that he projects. Truly, it is fine. The children.
Sometimes aggression is the only language that others understand.
He gives you a nod and a tiny little
wrong.
bow. This is true. When all paths of communication end, we must use the communication that nature has afforded us. Violence is its own language, and it is a necessary evil. These children, have they done you a wrong?
I wanted. And stealing.
Stealing. Have they stolen anything that cannot be replaced?
Come on now, I don't want to get into a philosophy lesson.
I apologize. I mean anything that can not be replaced monetarily.
While they're talking, I'll quietly be asking kids why they're doing in Mandarin.
So the kids tell you pretty quickly, like, they're hungry. They need food. Like, no, they have nowhere to go. And the goat man doesn't seem to like lean his head. Like he probably doesn't seem to know Mandarin.
I'm gonna ask them, or like while they're, again, I'm trying not to interrupt their conversation, but like I'm gonna just let them know about the Workers Guild and all that jazz.
Yeah. And they kind of like just get quiet. Like they make you go down into the mines. We don't want to go into the dark. We're not going to the deep. We're not going down there. They make you go down there. We're not. There's death down there, and only death down there, as they're telling you. And the goat man, his face wrinkles up as he sees the fear of them. He's like, "What is it that your friend is telling them?"
What you talking to them about?
Okay. I was trying to figure out why they don't work for a living. Apparently, y'all have got a pretty fucked up mine around here.
Ah, yes. The sewer systems. Children this small would probably be used in those. It's quite dangerous. It's usually left to the beast folk that are actually capable of going down there. Adults, I assure you. Children would not be sent down there. That's barbaric. I will talk to the sheriff if this is the case.
I've seen this kind of naked fear in eyes. I don't think it's a lie.
I am hesitant to agree with you. I can feel it coming from them in powerful waves. I am sensitive to these emotions.
What do you want to work on then? Bruce looks over to the two kids. A farm?
I'll translate if they don't speak English.
Again, they just want to be let go. And the goat man looks at Cinder for a minute, and his eyes narrow on him. You.
And Cinder's eyes narrow back.
He breaks eye contact
that's a
first.
Mexican standoff.
Yeah, he breaks eye contact first.
With a goat and a robot.
Like, again, it would be the one eye too, because he's only looking, he only get one at a time. Perhaps it is best to turn them into the authorities and give them into the care of the state for now.
Not exactly.
I'm not aware of any abuses that the sheriff has ever conducted against those who cannot defend themselves. They will be treated fairly.
Cinder is really giving this goat guy the stink eye, and is like edging a little closer and trying to get. How tall is the goat guy?
He's shy of 2 meters. He's like 1.6.
All right. So, I think Cinder is like roughly 2 meters. I don't recall.
Yeah, so he stands over him.
So he's like kind of looming over him a little bit, and he says in a very low voice, "Say, goat, I have a friend. She has red hair. I heard you bothered her in her head. I don't like the sounds of that. Do it again. You might run into an accident."
His eyes turn back up to you, and for the first time, instead of like that submissive calmness, you see that the steel under there.
It is looking steely right back.
Yeah, but it does break contact first. He doesn't maintain it, and he acquiesces. He bows. I must admit a regrettable instinct. I was overcome by someone with a aura, though I do not wish to reveal too much of their own personal identity at this time. They were different, and I was taken aback.
Well, be polite or be dog meat.
Of course, I understand. You see, these emotions, these powerful emanations, they're only familiar to people like us. You would not understand.
He tilts his head a little bit
I said too
and taps
much.
his forehead. I understand enough, and my friend understands even more. And she talks to me about certain things, and if I feel someone has trespassed against her, I have what I would like to term an emotion about that. You may not believe it because you can't feel it like I feel it, but it's real to me. So tell me again how I don't understand emotion.
Perhaps I am mistaken then. There are still many layers of existence that are hidden to me. Many mysteries yet to be uncovered.
Oh yeah, there's mysteries, all right.
Please, let us depart here in peace. Take these children, see them cared for. I will replace whatever things they have taken this day with monetary value. It is the least I can do. If there's any need... thank you. If there's any need that you come across, your name is... As he looks at Cinder.
They call me Cindervale.
Cindervale. And his eyes peel over to look at Roos.
Bruce.
Roos. Then he follows finally on Cole.
Cole.
Cole. I remember them. I am Hashmal. Leader of the Owl. Yes. Some call me leader, but I am simply one among many of the Argent Dawn. A small church. Please, if you have any need, we have a meeting assembly tomorrow evening. I would be very happy of your presence.
Aside, what does Cinder think about his demeanor? Does he feel like he is lying or being selective in the truths that he's telling?
He is naturally charismatic. He is definitely, he's got the, it doesn't seem like he's said a single lie so far. Like, you don't get that perception from him.
He hasn't said a lie.
Yeah, it's okay. So
it's selective use of truth.
There's definitely dissembling going on.
That's what I'm asking. Yes.
Yeah, he is dissembling. So you've seen Red Rum do this with other people that were empathic, where you have two empaths in a room who are trying to disguise their emotions so they can't be read too easily.
Sure.
And it's like he has all of those trait characteristics of an empath, a powerful one who is really, really trying to rein it in.
Okay.
And so one of the first steps that happens with a natural empath, especially strong ones, is when they try to close their mind off to other people, it's like losing a sense. They're a little disorientated. And he has that kind of, you see that transition. When you challenged him, he shut it off. And you caught that moment that happens to Red Rum when she's like, oh shit, a lot of emotions in this room, turning it off.
Yep. All right.
So, Bruce has telepathy.
Oh, we're finding some shit out.
I was gonna ask, like, how does that work? Like, is it like, does Bruce have to talk to the person first, or can he actually, like, intrude on someone's mind?
He can intrude on someone's mind against their will. So Roos, he hasn't touched on it, he hasn't really used it. So is Roos going to try to open his mind up? Because again, if Roos is a telepath, he would recognize that sign too, of a powerful empath that's suddenly like stopped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, since Roos hasn't been touching it, this guy doesn't know about it. So Roos, you got to open your mind up?
For sure, yeah.
There is a shockingly powerful presence, but it's not him. He is strong, but there is another voice in the air. You did not hear it when you left. It's here now, though. And it's like a low background hum across the whole city. There is no single mind that is strong enough to do that. This would have to be a collection, like a chorus of voices all rising up in unison. But it's one voice.
Oh my god, it's the episode. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. And it's someplace beneath you.
Beneath me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dominoes!
It's the Emperor of Mankind. No,
Mea culpa.
yeah. For anyone who is, like, actively looking at Roos, you can tell that he feels uncomfortable by something, but you don't know what.
Hey man, you alright? I'll reach over. Cole has switched from carrying the kids by their breeches to instead holding them in one arm, like in a seated position. And slaps his hand on Roos's shoulder. You alright? Hey, pats him on the cheek. Look at me. You alright?
Yeah.
Like he's trying to see if he's going through some kind of gas shock.
Hashmal's head inclines a little bit. He looks down his nose for a moment. And Cinder, you recognize that transition from like submissive to predator, but he covers it up like instantly. But it did happen. There was no mistaking it. There was bloodlust in the air for just a mace. It was there. You felt like, again, you can't feel it, but you know it when you see it.
How did it come across?
Body posture, position, eyes, like set for
when
pheromones.
When did it?
The moment that Roos suddenly got woozy, it came off Hashmal like a snap wave, and then it disappeared.
Okay.
Like his whole body language went into like if you had seen someone on the streets do what he just did, like out of the corner of your eye, you would have drawn on him.
Sure.
But again, he did it very quickly, and it just disappeared. It went away. He went back to submissive.
So once again, Cinder's going to buy trouble, and he is going to lean in and say,
We have too many copies of that game already.
he says, there's more to you than you like to let out. I can see that, and don't think for a minute I believe you're as harmless as you try to make yourself out. You got something going on. You got a scam or something. I ain't quite figured it out yet. That's okay. I'm patient. I'll get it.
Well then, I feel that it's even more important that you attend the meeting tomorrow, so that you can see all and be revealed.
Yeah.
Perhaps I will.
Let's we'll catch up. Let's head out.
So he separates away from, he gives a bow to Cinder, and he's like very low with it. He gives each of you a small nod, and he disappears into the crowd. And you can see that there's a
Before he goes,
Yeah.
Cinder would like to take 2 fingers, touch his forehead, and then lower them to a chest level and twirl them around and do a little bow back. Very little bow back.
So when he departs, he withdraws. Now, outside of your periphery, out of that immediately kill bug zone, you see that there's 4 other cloaked men who are watching but did not interact. Now, Cinder and
I tried
Roos,
to
you can
make
see
note
that,
of their features.
yeah, Cinder and Roos, you instantly know that each of those men is armed. They had hands-on weapons, but they didn't move to use them a single time. They never drew them. And so they're disciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
And they never gave off any murderous intent. They never gave off any waves of emotion. There was no pheromone trace in the air for like adrenaline spikes or anything. They were very calm.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I totally forgot about Cinder having the super senses.
Yeah, that's why I'm using it. I'm describing these things. I remember.
Glad you remembered.
Now, so I was going to say, for Cinder, you know that people can only do that under 2 conditions. Incredibly well trained, or they've been artificially, it's been done artificially. Those senses have been muted somehow. So they're not robots. They don't move like robots. They move like biologicals. But they're either androids, like you, or they're, like, again, highly disciplined, or they're hopped up on some kind of synthetics.
Or brainwashed.
Could be brainwashed too. Could be mentally controlled.
Programmed.
Yeah, could be with enough layering.
Conditioning.
Oh yeah, you've seen it. You've seen all types.
I know how that can be done.
All right. So with that scene closed, we're gonna go transition because then we're gonna go back to Argo and Whiskey Tango. So Argo, you've got your eye, and you've got this jar. You've got a couple hours on it. Now, Whiskey Tango, does he have anything that he's looking for specific in the market? Is there anything he wants to buy? Anything he wants to barter with? Because I know he's got those skills. He's got medic, which is valuable.
Well, yeah, Whiskey has like no money.
Yeah, so he's got to like do something. You got to trade for it with barter with his skills, like you're saying.
Yeah.
And Argo has cybernetics, right? And programming.
I believe so. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah.
I do not have cybernetics.
I think he's got the programming though. My computer, sorry, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got computer tech.
All right. So,
But cybertech was the skills in the new book. And I couldn't get them because of my thingy is old book.
oh well, we can look at your sheet. We need to make some adjustments. But there is a man who is talking to himself. He's an older man, 40s. He's got a lab coat on. He's got that little white collar kind of look to him. He's got a like scruffy face, and he's like, he's muttering like, "I gotta program the entire tank myself. That's gonna be millions of lines of code. I'm gonna have to bring in somebody to be able to do any of the." He's like, "What am I gonna find a doctor that's not on the medical staff to be able to put together this vat?" And he's like sitting there with this like problem that you have the skills to do. And it's funny because this is another character's thing. This is Raya's thing.
That is indeed quite funny.
And so he's sitting there like talking to himself like, where am I going to find a freaking back alley doctor to be able to help me keep this freaking vet? And he's got this pad out in front of him, a digital pad, and he's drawing up this diagram. And he's not covering it up, he's not hiding it, but you can see it's a vat culture for growing a clone, a synth body. Like, you know it right away. You know what that is. It's like, it's a synth body batch. Like, that's complex.
Would gently tap him on the shoulder and
He turns around, and looks at you with like half dreamy eyes because he's been drinking some kind of straight grain liquor. Yeah, what can I do for you, friend?
I apologize for overhearing, but it sounds like you need someone with programming and some medical skills.
He points to the seat next to him. Please sit right here, good sir. Like pats it. It takes a. He has this decanter he pulls up. He takes his own glass. He pours it. And he slides it to you. Tell me, what can you do?
I personally can do a fair bit of tech.
Fair bit.
I currently specialize in mechanical, but I'm want to really learn a lot more. Then, as I am trained in a few, but I'm
my
deeply
God.
wanting to.
This, yeah, Thad just put in what you had in your sheet for Mech Tech 3, Chem 1, Electrical 2, Computer 2, Robots. You were exactly the person this guy needs. So, he's sitting here like, so I got this customer that came up to me earlier today, right? He like lowers his voice. Mind you, he's a little drunk. And he's like, so, it's this bunny girl, right? Cute little cottontail. Comes up, tells me, hey, I need a body for my sister. It's fucking, right? Just walks up to me in the middle of nowhere, like, hey, make me an illegal clone. And I'm like, sure, lady, why not? Because I'm thinking maybe I get some fur action later. But now I'm like,
Oh my god.
maybe. Like, I mean, I can make some money off it. You want to make some money, buddy? Come on.
No, you don't hear me complaining.
All right.
I'll be happy to make some coin.
Like, have a drink. Have you like? Yeah, it's like have a drink. See, this guy has the biotech. That's the thing. He's a biotechnician. So he's like, oh, come on, kick some back with me. What's your name?
My name is Argo.
Argo
Argo takes a
buddy.
shot.
He sits there. He's like, I actually don't remember my name. It's on my name tag here. Did we give him a name last week? I listened to it earlier today.
Fucking did.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
did.
remember the name.
I'll have to go re-listen to the episode again and find out what his name
It was
is.
something mundane. I don't remember what
Yeah,
it
it was like Bob, Richard, Greg,
something like that.
Robert. All right. Again, I'll have to re-listen to the damn episode. And I can't believe I did today. I didn't write it down.
Isn't it Clark?
Oh, it is Clark. Thank you. It's Clark.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is written down. I'm looking at my player notes. I'm like, Clark, the freaking biotechnician. All right. And I'm like, who's that? I don't know. So like, he looks at his tag. I'm Clark. I remember now why I chose Clark, because it's Clark and the other character is Kent. So I was making a word association, so I didn't forget. Yeah. So he's like, my name is Clark. So what's up, Argo? And he like looks behind you. Is Whiskey Tango with you?
Yes.
He's like, how you doing, robot buddy? You want a drink too?
Whiskey
What the
Tango
fuck
has
is...
that gun on his head, doesn't he? Or
Yes.
Fucking
That's fun.
Come on,
It's
just
just this...
dip your muzzle in here. It's good shit. You know, clean up all the carbon.
the small little red eyes underneath of the cannon, basically. Just look at the thing and gently take the glass and gently pour it down the barrel. As an attempt to clean it out.
He's like, yes,
As
the
it's
robot
quickly-
likes to drink. That shit's funny. He sits there. He's like, all right, so I got this. So we're gonna make this bunny clone, right? But we're gonna put tits on it because it's funny. And he like shows you this like program that he's got. Like he's got this program running where he's got like DNA sequences. A lot of it's just like Greek to you, but you understand the like what he's missing. He's missing all the regulation programs to be able to govern the systems. Like he doesn't have any of that stuff because he has to custom build all of this shit. And he's got some of the electronics, but he's got to build them himself. Also something you know how to do because you've got the chem tech to be able to help him get all the solutions correct. He's got the biotech. Just you know, not all the odds and ends that are gonna make it all work with like duct tape and happy thoughts. But that's where Argo's got the skills.
Wonderful.
Buddy 6 jokes, yeah, 10 episodes.
Sounds great. We can definitely help each other. You can help me understand this biotech, and I can happily help you with this chemtech.
Yeah, come on. You know what? Let's go back to my lab. I'm gonna show you my setup. It's fine. Let's bring the bottle with us. And he's like, I'm here. Put it on my tab. And she's like, you're a stupid drunk. You owe your tab now. He's like, fucking bitch. One walks up and puts like some silver onto the table. Fine, whatever. I got a new friend. I don't need you no more. She just shakes her head and looks at him like, piece of shit. Puts the money away. He's like, come on, gunman and dude.
Michael clearly follows.
He's got his like,
Factual.
he's got his liquor with him. Like he steps out and he leads you into an area, and you quickly find yourself in like 2 different security layers of access, where he's like, no, don't use your card, fine, I got security clearance, and he like swipes you through each time. Like literally you're going up and he swipes the second time to let you through, he swipes the third time to let freaking Whiskey Tango through. I can bypass the security because I got clearance. And you see that his little name card, little metal plastic card he has like a little blue border around it for some reason. Again, the color codes don't mean anything to anybody except for the people who live here. So he's a researcher, and he's also an officer. He's in middle management area. And so he brings you back. Tim opening Pandora's box. Shut up. He brings you back into this like laboratory, and he's got like a bunch of tanks. They're algae tanks. You saw those at Copper Dust. These are the ones that the guys at Copper Dust wanted. They wanted one of these tanks, or they wanted a couple of them to be able to make their own algae. But he's making something odd in a few of them that are vaguely feminine in shape. And it's like he goes over and he has this big research bench, and you see all these like computers and machines, and they're all like slapped together. Nothing's really well done. The soldering's kind of shitty. You can see like instantly when you look at like one of the programs, the front end is really bad, and you can see like the server decks and all that kind of stuff. Like they're screaming because they're like under too much strain, too much heat. You can feel heat blowing off of them, like someone's trying to play freaking like a really high end video game on a laptop.
Argo is just twitching because of just the horror of this setup.
So what I do here is I make sex bots for like people when they want to have sex with the bots, and he's like pointing at these things. Now the problem is you can't give them a brain, but like what woman does.
Oh shit!
Yeah, this guy's terrible. Clark's an asshole. And he's like, like, so we got this one here, and it's not quite human, but he's like, it's synthetic meat. And like he's nodding as he's looking at you, and you're like looking at this tank, and it's like steak, it's synth meat, but he shaped it into a humanoid form. It's not really attractive.
I can see where you're starting off, but you're definitely missing a few components that I actually know.
Like glandular secretions.
Oh no, not one of these
And
guys.
sensory organs.
We have
Alright.
to kill this guy.
Right now it's basically
Robots,
just it's just hamburger with skin.
Argo opens up a pocket on his rather massive pack and pulls out a small tablet that he really hasn't used much, and just starts taking notes. And he's happy to show them off. He's not trying to hide his notes. He's just trying to get all the information and see what he needs to help fix, what he needs to improve on.
That's a good idea. Yeah, and if we do the algorithm with that shit, we can make. Oh wow, you know your shit. He's sitting there like watching you like reorganize this guy's like messy fucking like situation.
Sounds good.
Within like a few minutes of you being in here, you can definitely have the impression that you can fix most of this guy's electronics problems, well, his like digital problems, with a few solid days of work. So what are you gonna do now? Since he's drunk, he's pliable right now. Do you want to get him to sign some kind of contract for monetary exchange? Like, how do you want to like use him?
Oh, you say this. Oh, I'm gonna fucking abuse him then. This poor bastard. He dare feels, oh yes. Feel Argo, he can quite manipulative if he needs to be.
Yeah.
That 68 intelligence definitely is going to be used now.
Gotta use it. Gotta apply pressure.
Yeah, he's gonna just start writing up a contract. Just like what he's gonna do, how long it's gonna take, and then like an hourly cost for the product, cost for fixing up his work area, fixing up his fuck ups, fixing up every little thing he needs to do.
It sounds like a cell phone contract. It's all the addendums.
Oh yes, and then definitely gonna have some fine prints in there for like some massive amounts of money.
Yeah, service charges, cancellation charges.
And if not paid, legally required to give something of equal or better value.
Oh God. So
Make him foreclose all of his equipment because he can't pay you.
Yes, that also sounds
I
like
like
good.
that.
That's
yeah,
good.
if he can't deliver, he finds the forfeit all the
Forfeiture of
equipment.
product.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's standard. That's boilerplate right there. You know, you can't pay it, you get freaking repoed, and you're the repo man. And so, like, he doesn't even read over the contract because you're his new best friend. He's been drinking with you all night long, and he uses his ID card to sign it.
Whoop.
So it's like
Wonderful.
it's legally binding now. He's like boop, yep, it's all good now, buddy. You wonder why? Like, you don't have to wonder why he's divorced.
Argo is simply grinning madly.
So you have this whole research guide, and he comes over with a new ID card that he like forces the computer to spit out for you that gives you level 2 access, so you can access the industrial sections of the factory. Because he has the ability to do that. He could just like, you are now head of research and development of bio meat lab number 4.
Swell.
Nobody gives a fuck about us down here. We don't get inspections, and we use all the power we want, and I make all the porno bots I want.
Excellent.
All right, I'm gonna go pass out inside the jelly vat because it feels good.
Have fun.
Hey,
Be
nothing
safe.
if not honest.
I will work on this as needed.
Okay.
And then Argo just starts going madly into work. He will probably work himself into exhaustion.
So it's literally like a tube that he like crawls into that's filled with like this gelatinous ooze that just kind of hugs him, and he just kind of cuddles into it. He's like, oh, that's good stuff. It's like, yeah, that's vile. He just strips completely naked as he gets inside of it. And you can see that it vibrates, and it seems to be like scrubbing his body. Like,
Intriguing.
yeah, sort of like, do you want to go investigate what it might be?
Just a little. I'm honestly a little bit curious.
So you step over to the computer terminal that seems to be governing this one. There's like a little electrical charges that are pulsing into it. And it appears he has managed, just a cursory overlook of the display screen. It's an ooze, like the acidic ones, that he's bioengineered to have a slightly lower than normal pH. So it's a giant gooey soap.
Nice.
It's essentially just cleaning him. And it's using his like bio waste as a way to feed itself. And the little electrical charges going into it supplement the energy.
Yeah, Argo is definitely not writing all of this down. Definitely not wanting to also try to get level in bio eventually.
Yeah, it's like pretty much you can see like pretty quickly like it wouldn't survive outside of this environment. Like it requires all the things that are there, but it's kind of neat. And it's like, oh, this dude's insane. He makes weird shit. Like he
Sounds
doesn't
like a perfect person to abuse, and
he does not care that God looks at him with shame.
He should.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I'll give God a middle finger and be like, I'm going to do it as well. Just not with the bio stuff. I'm going to do it with the mechanical and other stuff.
So with
I did not like that.
with your night of like research and like plumbing through all of his like computer diagrams and all the stuff he did, you find that the very first layer of problems this guy has is he doesn't have enough system RAM. He needs more memory. He needs a bigger AI core to be able to do a lot of the permutations of the genetic sequencing that he needs. So you're going to need an artificial intelligence core to be able to get this up and running, because it's billions of lines of code that need to be generated. And again, this is all it's all stuff Argo can do, but you're going to need a robot brain to be able to do it. Whiskey Tango's sitting right there.
I mean,
But you don't want to plug him in, I imagine.
probably not. I do kind of still want him.
Still like him.
Yeah.
Whiskey Tango points and like looks at you with his gun face. You can almost see that.
Yes, I know, dear. No, I don't plan to abuse you. No, you're far too precious. Besides, I put too much of my fucking life's effort into you.
You did give
Were
him
you ever
Anyway.
able to upgrade the CPU?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why he has all those extra skills.
Oh,
Because
okay.
of his, well,
I was just looking at his intelligence and stuff, and I was wondering if that ever got increased.
It should be 30 now.
Oh, it's still 20.
Yeah, should be 30.
What about the willpower?
It should be 30 as well.
Oh, I guess I'll change it to 30s.
I
So that
would
was-
think so.
That was the crab CPU. Okay, so with Whiskey Tango and Argo, you guys working at this kind of like device and getting everything like sorted with it. There is there's the system processor that you need to kind of come up with. And the one that he had in there was just old, it was malfunctioning, it was a piece of garbage. You do find some interesting stuff while you're digging through there. There is a massive amount of energy and resources being shunted to some entity. It's given like a code name, just a bunch of gibberish, and it's like a kilometer under the city. It's bioresources, power, it's battery pack cells, it's a lot of biomatter. And a lot of the meat that he's making is going towards this thing. Yeah, so it's kind of like a random, like, why do they need so much protein?
I'm going to look into it as I'm working, just as a little side project.
Yeah, a lot of the information, it's open for you to look at, but it doesn't detail. He doesn't take any notes in anything he was doing. It was all just kind of stream of consciousness when he was doing a lot of the different programming parts. The protein is pretty specific, like the ratio of fat to actual meat that needs to be put down. 7% fat, 93% just raw protein. So that's a lean meat. That's a high. The caloric value is actually kind of low, but it does mean that if you want to put mass on quickly, that's what you need. You need high protein. So whatever he's feeding down there is basically like a baby elephant. Like it needs food. It needs it quick. It needs to put on a lot of weight. And we're quantities, we're talking like 400 kilograms a week. Like small armies don't even.
Interesting. Definitely a future plan when I'm finished with this damn project. Because if I start doing 2 projects, that's gonna be fucked. And then I'm gonna just exhaust myself twice as fast. So instead, work on this money project, then work on the funny project.
Funny project. So we're gonna switch over to our last character that we haven't really done anything with, was Iliad.
Iliad.
Yes. Hello.
It's dinner time. It's the right time.
Oh, okay.
It's time to go see
You
Kent.
can go see your dinner date.
Mhm. I guess Iliad was just kind of chilling out, staring at dust for a while
Aw.
as the day passed on.
Oh, nighttime already? Huzzah.
He's doing the Assassin's Creed thing where he meditates and it's like the time goes really fast.
I did want him to do some investigation, but it's okay. He'll save that for another time.
So you're going past floor 1 and you see that same robot that got in the way of Rhea and Ronan.
Oh, best boy.
This is convenient.
And he is doing the same damn thing. He is picking up the same boxes. He's moving them from the left to the right. And just placing them down. And there's this small woman who has got a data pad in her hands with a cable link that's kind of just being tortured as it moves back and forth. And she's like, all this code is just a mess. Come on. She's like, just stop if you could, please. And every now and then he just stops and a little machine code burst of information flashes at her. And you see the robot as it turns and it sees you. You see the inscription across the top of the chest. And
Yes.
it says Rejectus Umbra. And you get a flash. You remember, it's a grainy image of just playing inside your mind, of going underneath the gates of Bittertoe when you were fresh and new to this idea of hydraulic knights, when you were getting your squiredom. And above the gates, it writes, Rejectus Umbra. Cast out the shadow. Push back the shadow. Hold it back. It's Latin. It has many permutations of meaning. He has it tattooed on his chest, and you have this vision of a man, a soldier, a robot, a figure standing before a massive creature, a black blob of destruction, blue armor and a sparking hammer of bright, vibrant light, haloed in a crown of thunder and lightning. And then it fades, and you're left with this clunking, foot-dragging
large construction robot with blue paint chipped inside the recesses of its armor as it moves back and forth, muttering little bursts of machine code.
Elliot just holding his head from that. He approaches the woman.
She looks up at you, and you can see that she is a mild mutant. She has greenish skin with black spots across her face. She has slightly tapered ears and strange spiraled eyes. Huh?
Iliad's not even looking at her. He's just staring at the construction bot. Lighthammer.
She's like, what, what? No, this is... no. She's like, no, that's not Lighthammer. No. She's like, this is Construction Bot 2.
Best boy.
Aren't you Construction Bot 2? And it's just a burst of machine code. Yep, that's right, whatever the hell that means.
Iliad looks at the pad she's holding.
You can see it scrolling past is just a block of binary code, and you pass it through quickly into your own mind because you can interpret it instantly. And there is a lot of gibberish there, but in it, it's lux, over and over and over again. Light.
So, Iliad reaches to take the pad from her.
She's like, oh, no, please, sir. This is a delicate operation I'm trying to go through. He's having a random access problem. There's some kind of handshake issue going on with his with his command processing and his movement, and I don't want to damage his operating system if you could. Well, that could damage it any more than it already is.
There's this brief moment where Iliad's fist, his hand just clenches into a fist, and then it relaxes. Oh, forgive me, but I'm sure you have noticed that I too am a robot.
She looks at you. Huh? Yeah, you are indeed a robot.
I wouldn't have noticed if you didn't say it.
Yep, that's.
You may also notice he points to his shield, speaking over her. I'm a hydraulic knight. I like to help people pro bono, so I'd be willing to look at this bizarre code you have here and see if I may decipher it faster than your small mortal brain could.
Oh, hydraulic knight, huh? Cool. I'm the Esther Bunny. I secret gifts to little children that have been good all year round, and I take the bad ones and I drag them away to the underworlds. Now, if you excuse me, I need to get back to fixing this operating system.
There's a lot of Esther bunnies, apparently.
Yeah.
It became very popular.
I was gonna say, there's a kid standing there too, and he goes,
It's
"Wait,
not
really?
real.
You're not the Esther, but you lied to me. Kid pulls out a gat.
Yeah, just this grinding click for a second.
Oh god.
And Iliad then speaks is despite not having teeth, it sounds like he's grinding as he speaks. Just, I insist.
You know what? You insist. Fine. She shoves it into your hands. Go ahead. Do some magic. And she just crosses her little arms underneath her chest, foot pad, just tapping on the ground. Go ahead. Let's see what you can do.
So his relevant skill here, I think, might help, is he has robot tech 2.
Okay. So
I was gonna say you also have language binary.
Yeah.
So when you look at it immediately, you can see that there is a problem. This machine's AI core is deeply corrupted.
You and me too, friend.
And you can the corruption that you're seeing here though is 100%. It screams Lissavirus, but it's gone.
Interesting.
It's like you're looking at the scars of an injury, crisscrossing the body of somebody. It's all across the memory core. Now, the other thing, too, is this memory core is insanely large. Tessellation after tessellation after tessellation of data that splits off into different directions. till it becomes impossible to track them all. And they just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. This thing is hundreds of years old.
Who brought this in?
Who brought? Well, I did.
Where?
I found him out by Rabbit Hole. He was in a sand dune, just got excavated after they'd run through. There was a battle over in the area, and I was looking for scrap, and I found him half sticking up out of a sand dune, scrubbed raw. Pulled him out, thought I found myself something pre-war, but after I saw all the different markings on him, I'm like, no, you've been repaired a few times. You are definitely post-war. So, and construction bot, not a very good one, as she just watches him pick up a box and put it to the other side of the room and put it down again. He's really good at moving boxes, though. Loves his boxes.
He's much more than that.
Oh, he can do more than boxes?
Has your sheriff come to look at this find?
Huh, it's strange you mentioned that. You know, every now and then, Efraleli will come down and just kind of stare at him. It's creepy.
And you're aware that Efraleli used to be a hydraulic knight as well.
I mean, that's what people tell me. Yeah, I'm not from the high desert. You people, didn't exist where I'm from. I'm up from Grapevine, and we thought this story was bullshit till I came down here, and there's a few of you walking around still. It's kind of creepy.
And you don't find that convenient at all.
What, convenient? What, convenient that my robot won't pick things up properly? No, I'm not really finding this convenient.
You are an interesting individual.
It's interesting. Most people just call me a bitch and call it a day. Can I have my data pad back now?
No.
Cool. So,
I'm still fixing him.
Oh, please. I did not want to interrupt the wizard.
Wizards are lame.
She's just like, you're lame.
So
No, that was odd.
so Iliad is in the residential area, right?
Yeah.
So would Kent's home be nearby?
Yeah, it'd be nearby. It'd be within the block.
Okay.
Is there anything Ilya can do right now to try to unscramble this with his robotics tech?
Not
here?
a fucking thing. No, this is gonna require a you're gonna literally need you're gonna need Argo. Because you're gonna need robotics, electronics, there's just so much damage. You can't
Are
just
you a resident here? Small? Yapping one?
Yeah, large. I'm a resident here.
From where you stay?
She points to a door that's nearby that's scratched up. It's got some a name stenciled on the front of it. It's in Greek letters. She's like, Delta Omega. That one.
What a fitting name. Iliad hands the data slate back.
Yep. Thank you.
Do not move or sell your bot within the next 72 hours.
Sell him? I wouldn't sell him for the world. You kidding me? If I get this thing working, I'm rich.
You don't even know.
Yeah, you can see how heavy the boxes he can pick up are. Huge boxes, big boxes, little boxes.
So
Boxes that climb on rocks.
So I want Kit to be interjected in this scene.
Just step outside, to take a breather from getting kicked out, getting yelled at.
Yeah.
By Joanne.
She doesn't like how things are going in there.
Just seeing Robot and Iliad.
Yeah, you found the box boy. He's such a good boy.
Machine
She starts
burst.
petting him.
Box.
See, he's so cute.
Box.
Iliad looks up the walkway to where Kit stands, and he offers a wave. Hello, small huntress. I'll be there in a moment.
Actually, I was looking for you.
A moment.
Okay, you don't have to yell at me.
He approaches. He approaches the construction bot and puts his hand on his shoulder. Keep fighting, Lighthammer. I'll figure out a way to fix this. And then he'll leave.
So again, Lighthammer had stopped. When you put your hand on his shoulder, his head turned and he looked at you.
Ooh.
Inside the glass eyes, there's a small spark of blue, and you can see it flickering in there.
Yes, that. Hold on to that. Find a way to grab that spark of your soul and drag it back to the surface. The hydraulic knights are not done yet. I swear on Athena.
It like turns and it looks down at the box again, and it picks the box up and it puts it back onto the other side. The young woman there is just like, oh god, something different for a change happened, and then he's just gonna go back to his box. I gotta get him a different box. Maybe I could change it, alter his code, and maybe get it a little bit larger or smaller.
It takes a smiley face picture and puts it on him.
Turns around, grabs another box, picks it up, puts it down.
Iliad will let his former compatriot keep working, as he does have other plans to get to, but he makes note of to remember this woman's face. Remember to turn this woman's face inside out if she does break anything he had said to her, and then make note to find Argo later.
Mira.
It's like as you're going in, like as you're leaving, but literally she's like, oh god, now what's this nonsense? As she's looking at the code. And she's like looking at it. It's like, oh good, now at least it's English this time.
Oh, don't get mad at him.
What does it say?
She holds it up so you can read it, and it's in large, bold text, and it's repeating over and over and over again. Symbols should be seen.
This is some creepypasta shit, if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, Iliad's attention is definitely split, but he is a man of his word, and he knows that Lighthammer can wait one more day, and he'll head up the steps.
All right, and we will end it at that moment. So thank you guys for coming along. Thank you for those who actually participated and watched. I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody and like as clean as an order again. That's kind of one of the weaknesses of having kind of a more of a round table where parties are split up, is you can't always like get to each person have their like good like assertive interaction. So there's a lot of waiting. So I thank all of you for coming, playing, and participating. And we're gonna try to like re-weld the group back together so we can get some of these scenes like in a larger subset. Well, not subset. We can give them a larger like party movement, and you can get the Mutant Epoch at RPG Drive-Thru. You can get it at the website at themutantepoch.com, and please join us on the Discord. Link is in the description. And that was episode 10, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you everybody for joining in.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.